What is up, Finesse family? Hopefully, everybody is having a great day today. Come on in, guys. Hopefully, your week has been going good. You guys are having a great day. Let's get started. Once again, if you are just coming in or you're new to the channel, hello. Hola to you. Hopefully, you're having a great day. I am Mrs. B Finesse of millennialfinessemindset.com. And here we faithfully innovate, we inspire, we're naturally effective, and we seek success every day. All right, we got the merchandise, apparel, and this is the mantra that we stand by here. And hopefully, you get encouraged from the conversations that we have and the talks and information that we have. So let's make sure. Mic check. All right, cool, good. Hopefully everybody's having a great day. Make sure you guys are checking the notifications. Make sure your notification bell is on. Make sure you guys are checking the community tab also to see when there's updates or anything new going on with the channel. Thank you guys for the shares, the likes, those that support the channel monetarily. Thank you guys for that. And we're here. You guys asked for us, so we're back again, talking about things that are going on, things that are important to you guys, things that are going on in the world that affect your day-to-day life. So we're going to get straight into it. So once again, as you guys are coming in, thank you for sharing. Thank you for the support and all the people that went back and commented like I asked you guys to do. Go back and comment. You guys really did the task this time. So thank you guys for going back, commenting. And if you forgot to go back and like videos that you watched, go ahead and do that. All right. So let's get started. Let's see. All right, guys. So the biggest thing that's going on that I seen was this lawmakers and this vote on the TikTok ban. Guys, as you already know that Montana has already completely banned it. So what's interesting to me, guys, is these are government entities that will ban it, right? So when you think about government entities, it's not just like the state, local legislative office, government offices, and that's everything. When you think of government, that's a lot of topics. So that could be the schools, elementary to university. That could be the state offices, every place where there's any type of government. Let's see, the courts, all those different places. There's a lot of things when you're thinking about if a state bans it. So this was huge right here. So Montana lawmakers vote to completely ban TikTok. Let me see if there's any partial states too, because I know there were some states that did a partial ban. Let me look something up real quick for you guys. Because there was a list. If you guys are coming in, hello, make sure you're sharing. Sharing is caring. We are talking about things that are going on in society today. You guys are jumping in. Oh, here we go, guys. These are it says TikTok bans are gaining momentum. It says a list of banned states include states such as Alabama, Georgia. Let me know if I'm calling out one of your states. Alabama, Georgia, Idaho, New Hampshire, North Dakota, Utah, Texas, Maryland, Montana, South Dakota, South Carolina, Nebraska, Iowa, Oklahoma, Tennessee, and Virginia. And they're talking about this for growth. So if you're just getting in, hello, hola, como está? Bonjour. Hopefully you guys are having a great day. Ni hao. We are talking about this ban that's going on with TikTok. Let me know if you guys know about it. And look, I should have did a poll. Question I want to know is, are you guys in agreement with the ban? Do you believe that it should be banned in local municipalities? So like in the courthouse, in government buildings, when you're talking government, that can even mean schools, guys, and universities. Do you guys think that it should be banned is the question. Hey, Vaughn, hopefully you're having a great day today. Vaughn says, greetings, peace, joy, and prosperity. Thank you to you for that. We got Miss Lakeisha in the building. She's saying, hello, fam. Hey, Finesse fam. Everybody's strolling on in the building. So once again, make sure if you're coming in, sharing is caring. Bring a friend, or 2 or 3. Make sure you guys are sharing it on your socials, sharing it with your family and friends, because the information that we go over here is for everybody, right? And it's something everybody can be involved in. So I'm asking people that are in the chat now, do you guys think that the TikTok ban should be at state level? Do you agree or disagree? Let me know. Okay, so what we're talking about here is Montana lawmakers vote to completely, you guys hear me? Completely ban TikTok in the state. Completely. I know also, guys, in some states where they're talking about banning it in the school. I know there's one school. Let me bring it up. There is a school that was banning it. So here's a list. Let me know if this is one of your states. This is a list of banned states that are gaining momentum and they're banning TikTok, right? So it's Alabama, Georgia, Idaho, New Hampshire, North Dakota, Utah, Texas, Maryland, Montana, South Dakota, South Carolina, Nebraska, Iowa, Oklahoma, Tennessee, and Virginia. And this says a list of growth. So let's talk about like specifically why they can ban. Okay, let's see what Vaughn says. Vaughn says, how can they ban it? Let's get into it, Vaughn. Let's get into it because they're not playing. I've even seen, guys, that some schools have passed this law. I'm gonna bring it up so you guys can see, because you guys know I try to bring it to you. So let's get this up here. Okay, so here we go. Give me a second. It says Montana became the first state on Friday to pass legislation banning TikTok on all personal devices, sending a bill to the governor, Governor Gregg, prohibiting TikTok from operating within state lines, barring app stores from offering TikToks for downloads. So they're taking it to the. Okay. It says the legislation marks the furthest step yet to state government to restrict TikTok over perceived security concerns, and comes as some federal lawmakers have called for a national ban of TikTok. It says lawmakers in Montana House voted 53-43 to give the final approval, right? And it says, and it will take effect January, but the legislation could quickly face significant legal challenges, right? It says the legislation specifically names TikTok as a target of the bill and outlines potential penalties. Listen to this. Penalties of $10,000 per violation day. $10,000 per violation day, guys. That's crazy. Hey, Professor Black Ops. Hopefully you're having a great day. He says it could be a federal. Listen, and I was on research on this. And like I said, I was reading up some things earlier this week, and there were specific colleges that are banning it. So this is even before it got to the state level. Let me pull this up. Hold on, let me put this on. Let me pull up the colleges. If you guys pull it up before me, get in there. But once again, if you're just getting in, hola, como está? You bonjour. Hopefully you guys are having a great day today. Shout out to you guys last week for supporting. All you guys that supported the channel members, the new channel members, She Stole My Thunder. Shout out to you, and for gifting a membership. So shout out to you for that. I think Gail got that membership that she gifted. We got Emil's in the building. She says, good afternoon, everyone. Hey, She Stole My Thunder. She says, just watching in the background while at work. If anyone asks, I'm here. I mean, I'm not here. Shout out to She Stole My Thunder. Supporter from day one. And she definitely put her money where her mouth is, and she helped support the channel. So thank you, She Stole My Thunder, for your membership and gifting a membership to one of the Finesse family members. Shout out to you. I appreciate you. Hey, What's Top Production? He's saying salute. Okay, so let me get into, once again, if I name one of your states, this TikTok bans are gaining momentum. It says a list of banned states included states such as Alabama, Georgia, Idaho, New Hampshire, North Dakota, Utah, Texas, Maryland, Montana, South Dakota, South Carolina, Nebraska, Iowa, Oklahoma, Tennessee, and Virginia. And let me find the college, guys, because when I was reading reports, there are some colleges. I believe one of them is UCF. Hold on a second. Colleges that are banning. What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat. We know we're interactive here when we talk and discuss things, guys. Do you guys think that they should ban this on state premises, and local premises, especially, guys, especially, what about schools? What about universities? You guys think they should ban it? We're going to get into this. Let me get into this. this story real quick so you guys have some background, right? Okay, so it says legislation specifically names TikTok as a target of the bill, outlines, and this is Montana, penalties. This is already passed, so this is enacted. It says outlines penalties of, listen to me, $10,000 per violation day. $10,000, right? The penalties would also apply to any app store found to have violated the law. Individual users of TikTok, meanwhile, will not be penalized for accessing TikTok. It says the government will carefully consider any bill the legislature sends to the desk, right? And it says in the statement, TikTok hinted a potential legal action to oppose the bill. So TikTok's trying to go and do opposing legal action to go against Montana. So this is what they're saying. It says, if you just come in, hey guys, hola, como está? Bien, hopefully you're having bonjour, hopefully you're having a great day. Make sure you're coming in, make sure you hit the like button first. And then number 2, share with 2 to 3 people. Sharing is caring. We're trying to have this conversation because I want to know, guys, what do you feel like? Do you think this is violating your rights in a sense? Do you think that states should not be in control of things you do during your leisure? We're talking about Montana lawmakers vote to completely ban TikTok in the state. All right. And it says numerous governments worldwide, including the United States, have used their authority over official devices they control to restrict TikTok smartphones, computers, and Wi-Fi networks. It says U.S. officials have widely expressed fears the Chinese government will potentially gain access to TikTok users through its links to TikTok's parents, ByteDance, and that such information could be used to benefit their propaganda and intelligence. It says there is so far no public evidence that their government has in fact access to personal information on TikTok users. It says, but FBI Director Christopher Wray has told Congress that we're not sure that we would see many of the outward signs of it happening if it was happening. You guys hear what they're saying? This is funny when you think about it. Oh my goodness, guys, it looks like a hailstorm outside. Hopefully we're not, if you're seeing like glitchiness and all that, guys, it's like raining super bad. So I'm going to try to keep the momentum going as much as I can. So anyways, once again, guys, they're saying that it says TikTok users, it says, where we at? But the FBI Director Christopher Wray has told Congress that we're not sure that we would see many of the outward signs of it happening if it's happening. What do you guys think? Do you think that's what they're doing? Let me know on the chat. I need to start a poll. Listen, if you think that they're spying, put spy. If you think not, put no spy in the chat. What do you guys think? Do you think they're actually spying on us here? And Mills, hopefully you're having a great day today. Let's see. Vaughn says, so glad I'm not a TikToker. I'm on there, guys. I go on there and talk to people. So I'm actually on there, but I haven't put a whole bunch of information on it. I think you can go in and put your phone number and all that. I ain't put none of that. Because if it asked me for all that, I wasn't joining it. I pop on there and like do lives on there. Let's see. Wealth Talk Production says, see, that's why I said I'm somewhat done with TikTok. But listen, guys, listen. If you're done with TikTok, you're done with YouTube. Don't Instagram, all of them, because the same stuff you gave TikTok, guys, you have to give all these other companies. And who's to say just because it's a face that looks like you that they're not collecting your data for something? So, I mean, you got to look at it both ways. Like, I get what everybody's saying, but honestly, think about it. And think about all the times that Facebook and Instagram have been in front of the doggone Congress trying to plead their cases. So we've seen this before. It just hasn't been a foreign entity, right? So let's get into, I'll put in the chat. If you think that they will steal the information, say they will. If not, say no. Do you think the foreign countries would do that? What do you guys think? Let me get into this too. Let me pull up, hold on, guys, colleges. Okay, listen, guys, there's college. Come on, quick, glitching. I see it's glitching. Guys, it is like typhooning outside. So we're gonna keep going. As long as you guys are with me and you don't speculate and trip about the glitching, I'm gonna be here with you. This is random super bad where I'm at. Super bad. And make sure you guys hit the like button on the way in. Sharing is caring. Make sure you share. All right. Make sure you hit that like button and you're sharing. And thank you guys so much for the support. Listen, guys, here's the colleges. All right. These are colleges that are looking to ban TikTok. Listen, and this looks like almost every college in Florida. Well, most of them. It says Florida A&M University, Florida Atlantic University. So Florida A&M, I believe that's North Florida. Florida Atlantic University, that's South Florida. Florida International University, I think that's South Florida. Florida State, FSU, the big huge college, and the University of Central Florida, UCF. They're all banning it. Like literally, listen, I was reading a report, guys, for UCF, I think is the college. And I think it was a guy actually on TikTok. He was one of the tech guys. And he did a TikTok and he was showing the what is that called? I've asked my son because he does IT stuff. But the list. I don't know if you guys have seen it. I know Ops, you know what I'm talking about. Ops, what is it called? The ticker list of I guess you call it a ticket, right? The tickets. He showed it was like thousands of tickets because they have to go in and do something with the code and they have to block it. So listen to me. These are universities in Florida. There's like 6 of them. I think one of them is a historically Black college. They are banning TikTok in the university. So some of y'all tripping, you don't want it. You think it shouldn't be banned at the state level. But if you think about it, a university is like a state or government entity. It's getting government money. So they are banning this in the university level. Do you guys think this is going to last? I mean, like, what do you guys think about that? Let's see. It says the U.S. government has called for TikTok to be spun off from its Chinese owners, while TikTok has said that it can address the national security concerns by erecting a firewall around U.S. user data, part of an initiative it calls Project Texas. So it's working on it. It's called Project Texas. And shout out to you guys that have bought merch. I really appreciate you. I see you. Thank you guys. If you're looking at merch and you want to buy something to support the channel, support the cause, and it just has some inspirational merch. You guys know I have the Don't Quit Millennial Finesse Mindset shirt, and we also have this one, Faithfully Innovate, Inspire, and Naturally Effective, and Seek Success Every Day. We have something for everybody, the men, the women, and the children in your family. Go support and check that out on my website, guys. Thank you for that. Or I think it's somewhere here on the YouTube panel, the store. Let's see what else it's saying. So if you guys are just getting here, make sure you guys are hitting the thumbs up as you're coming in and you're sharing. It says Montana lawmakers vote to completely ban TikTok in the state. And then I just found, guys, oh, come on, stop glitching. I just found there are universities that are banning TikTok. So we have FSU, which is a huge college in Florida, the University of Florida. It says these colleges just banned TikTok, all right? So they just banned them. Oh my goodness, it's a lot, guys. And it's the states I told you. We got Alabama, Arkansas, Idaho, Florida, Indiana, Mississippi, Montana, North Dakota, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Texas, and Tennessee. If you're in one of those states, let me know. They've already started banning, guys. They got Auburn, Arkansas State, Arkansas Tech, Arkansas, University of Arkansas, Florida. I already named the Florida ones. In Idaho, Boise State, Idaho State University. Wow, Purdue is huge, guys. They got Purdue and Indiana. You hear me? I said banned. Ban TikTok. Ban it. Purdue University, Mississippi. The University of Mississippi has banned it. Montana University, North Dakota State. Oklahoma is Langston University. I believe that's a HBCU, right? Langston. Northwestern, guys, it's like I said, it's you'll see it kind of glitchy. It's not me. It's StreamYard and it's area out here. It's like typhooning outside, so just bear with me. Oklahoma State, but the audio should always be perfect, even if you see it glitchy. University of Central Oklahoma, University of Oklahoma, South Carolina, we got Horry Georgetown Technical, Tennessee. Listen to me. In Tennessee, guys, it says all public colleges and universities. So Tennessee, listen, if you're in Tennessee, it says all public colleges and university in Tennessee. Is anybody from Tennessee, or you live there, or you got family there? They said all colleges in Tennessee, all public colleges and universities. Let's see what you guys are saying. Let's see. Professor Blackout says U.S. give a search warrant to U.S. companies. Oh, wow. What Top Production says, nah, I more so say I'm done because they banning it, LOL, but that isn't a shot. Hey, Wally, so salute on this side. We got Von in the building. He says, yes, today's topic, Freestyle Finesse Friday, trending topics and news. Yes, we are getting it in today. Okay, and Mills, do you have any family or friends that are in college? Because this is shocking. I didn't know. This must be some update. because it says all public colleges and universities in Tennessee have banned TikTok. In Texas, if you're in Texas, raise your hand. Let me know. It says Texas, Lamar University, Laredo University, McClellan, Texas A&M. I believe that's a Black college. Texas State Technical, Texas State University. That's TSU, right? The University of Texas Arlington, Austin, Dallas, all the universities of Texas, and the University of Texas San Antonio. That's pretty interesting when you think about that, guys. That's a lot of places. And remember, I just told you, I named off some state governments that are banning it. And then I told you, I remember because I was reading a report a couple days ago about college banning it, but I remember it was the first one I seen was UCF, which is University of Central Florida. And I didn't know it was more. Wow, that's crazy. So once again, the colleges, it says colleges that have blocked TikTok from internet access. And this is not just, guys, on their on a computer they get from the school. It's blocking the whole connection into the school. So you can't stop glitching. Oh, I see it glitching on this other device, guys. Listen, you guys know what it is. I can't control the weather. So, but I hate that though. Anyways, so the colleges that are banning, guys, is Alabama. These are colleges in Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, Idaho, Indiana, Mississippi, Montana, North Dakota, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Texas, and Tennessee. All right. Let's see. Let me get into down here. Okay. It says, where is it? It talks about somebody who's an activist. Where is it at? Okay. It says, somebody says, Design It For Us is a coalition for youth activists. You know the kids are going to be pushing back on this. Design For Us. Come on. Okay. It says Design For Us, a coalition of youth activists. Coalition of youth activists is pushing for changes to platform regulation, lamenting that the perspective of internet natives were not reflected in the bill. Okay. It also says, we believe that social media can be good for young people if they are designed for us. This is Zaman and Emma, the group's co-chairs. It says bans like this one forego a real opportunity to proactively address kids' safety and privacy concerns on these platforms. Let me know if you guys are agreeing with what these young people are saying. Yes, thank you, Vaughn. Guys, yes, make sure you guys hit the like button on the way in. Sharing is caring. If you really care, share this with 2 or 3 people or on your social, guys. You guys know we like to stay engaged here. So you guys, for this to work, you got to be participatory. That means like when I'm talking, you got to engage with me, talk back, you got to respond. If you want to come up and you want to speak on something, let me know. I definitely will drop the link before I forget. Emil says, yes, I know college people. This is very interesting, guys, because when you really think about this, as far as like people's personal space, personal items, having access to things, especially on a form of just being like open web, and they're like denying that's crazy. Hey, Ben, another supporter of the channel from day one. Appreciate you. Shout out to you. Hopefully you're having a great day today. Let's see. All right, let's get into this. It says a group representing app developers said Friday that the bill could encourage governments to legislate on an app-by-app basis, creating a patchwork of laws that would weigh heavily on small app companies. So this is becoming something way bigger because if you think about this, if they're picking particular things you can show and see, they're saying this is going to be a big thing dealing with little companies that are trying to build, especially app companies. It says while it might begin with TikTok, it clearly won't end there. They're speculating, which receives more than half of its funding from Apple. Well, let me read that again. It says, while it might begin with TikTok, it clearly won't end there, said Morgan Reed, president of the App Association, which receives more than half of its funding from Apple. Interesting. Shout out to BGH. He says, what's the 411, guys? Make sure you guys check out Blue and Green Hundreds clothing and apparel. They've been a supporter since day one of the channel. They are a channel member, and they've always been supporting and sharing links. So shout out to them, guys. Go check their website out. They have clothes for men, women, children, backpacks, all kind of inspirational things, and just different eclectic clothing for everyone. So guys, make sure you check them out and tell them Miss B Finesse sent you. All right. Okay, let's get back to this. Let's see. It says other civil society groups have alleged SB 419 violates Montana's First Amendment rights to free expression and access to information. So that's my question for the chat. Do you guys believe that this is violating their First Amendment rights? Let me put this in here and see. I don't even feel like dealing with the poll thing, guys. Poll, let me see if I can get the poll up. It acts crazy sometimes. Do you guys, yes or no, put that in the chat and tell me why in like a sentence. Do you guys think this law is taking away people's First Amendment rights of free expression and access to information? Yes or no, and tell me why. Yes or no, or tell me why. Let me drop this before I forget, because I know you guys are gonna ask me, and I'm gonna forget. Because when I get into this, you guys know how I get to talking. So the link is dropped. If you want to come up and talk about it, or you guys want to come up and express your opinion on yay or nay with this, you definitely can. I dropped the link while we still got some good viability. It's not raining too bad here. Okay, it says the legislation also. Oh, let me jump back. It says other civil society groups have alleged that this violates the First Amendment rights of free expression and access to information. This week, a joint letter to state lawmakers led by the American Civil Liberties Union argued that there is a high constitutional bar for government restrictions on speech. It says this SB 419 is censorship. Do you guys believe this? Yes or no? Is this censorship? Let me know in the chat. Do you believe this censorship, not allowing them to be on these websites on these premises? Yes or no? And then tell me why. It says it is censorship. It would unjustly cut Montana off from a platform where they speak out and exchange ideas every day. Well, don't they do that on every platform, or is that just me? Don't they speak out on every platform, guys? And exchange ideas every day? And it says it would set an alarming precedent for excessive government control over how Montana uses the internet. It says the legislation also references the presence on TikTok of dangerous content and dangerous challenges. Language that Lynn Glinkley, a First Amendment scholar and associate professor at Syracuse University, said raises an instant red flag, triggering stricter constitutional scrutiny. Now, what's interesting to me, guys, is that the guy, and when I was looking at the trial, right, I think it was like 3 or 4 hours. I didn't watch the whole time, but I got in right when it was good. This one guy, I forget where he was from. He was drilling the guy that owns TikTok or whatever, or the CEO. And he was asking him, well, okay, I'm paraphrasing, us here in America, we don't want our children to have access to this and all these different trending things, and some of these things aren't healthy. Would you allow your kids to be on TikTok? And he tried to diverge the question, and then he asked him, no, listen to the question. He asked the CEO of TikTok, or ByteChute, would you allow your kids to be on TikTok? And the guy, he gave a great pull out response. He's like, well, we don't have TikTok in my country. I forget where he's from. I don't know where it was, Beijing or something. Don't hold me to it. But he said that they don't have TikTok there. He said, but if they did, he would allow it. That was a good cop out. So we're going to bring some Finesse fam up. We got Professor Black Ops in the building. What's up, Ops? How you feeling today?
I'm doing all right. How you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling great. I definitely want to hear your perspective on this, because this is a hedging into the security part, the cybersecurity, huh?
Hedging? You ain't hedging. We waist deep in it. What you mean hedging? You got the whole body in the security part.
This is Ops. Did you know this many? I knew about two colleges. I didn't know that many colleges were though. You say you knew it?
Yeah, because they're banning that and ChatGPT. So yeah, you gotta.
Well, we know why ChatGPT needs to be. They've been stealing and paying for smart kids to do that stuff for years. So they still gonna figure out a way to do it. But go ahead, speak on it, Ops. You got the floor.
Well, from a cybersecurity perspective, you have 150 million devices tracking United States citizens. I didn't serve it well, but in the United States, if Facebook and one of them get out of pocket, the FBI can just raid them. We can take all their servers and lock them up. Mm-hmm. We can't do that in Japan. Mm-hmm. And people don't realize this.
Gotcha.
How much do you pay for Meta? How much do you pay for TikTok? How much do you pay? You pay zero and they make $1 billion. Your data is super important, right? So now I can start sending you mis and disinformation. If you saw the 60 Minutes, they got TikTok over there, but it's a different version of TikTok. They're pushing education and up. We over here dancing and rapping and spacewalking.
Dancing.
We ain't learning nothing.
Spacewalking.
Yeah, you know I'm old. You know the old people.
No, but that's so true. That's what bothers me, Ops. I hope you don't lose your thought. But what aggravates me about it is that the stuff on our end is pushed. The stupidity is pushed on our end on that viral app. But in their country, it's education. It's moving forward. It's decor about yourself. Go ahead, Ops.
No, you good. The thing I try to tell people is I'm a free speech advocate if we can control it. I would never ban a United States company. Never, ever. If you want to let your kids do something crazy and you on there doing too much and all that, that's cool. But that is a foreign nation. That's our enemy. They about to shut down the American dollar, man. So you got to be very careful when you have 150 million enemy devices on our soil. So now I know what you want. I know what you trending. I can start pushing stuff directly to you to try to get you to vote differently. I can target you down to a zip code, right? So I don't think people understand the intricacies of TikTok and how they move.
Yeah, and it's like people don't even realize, Ops, like, and I talked about this probably almost 6 months to a year ago when I was talking about this, and I was explaining the studies on how much information we give out for free. To get a free t-shirt, 20% off, to get to get a free free sample or something. We've been on that, and we didn't realize how the data, all this information is being collected. Like your email, your phone number, all these are super hot ticket items, and people don't realize that, like, when you give that stuff away, like, people are going to pay for that, especially marketers and things of nature. Like, and people don't even understand that. Oh, here's this about the well, this is here. This is in. Hold on, let me get this up. Is it popping up? Am I glitchy again? Dios mío, stop. I can't control the glitch, guys. I'm trying to make. I got too many screens up. I don't know, but here we go. Okay, let me see if I can get it up. Ops, can you see the thing yet? I
can't. I said 8 Florida universities.
You say you can or you can't?
I can. 8 Florida universities.
I can see it. All right, good. All right, so this is what. Oh, sorry, guys. What do? It just popped off. Okay, we're not even gonna get on DeSantis. But anyways, so yeah, let me see. I didn't know about these other universities. Okay, how long do you think it's going to be before it actually spreads through to the other, like, colleges and universities?
I think the federal government's going to ban it. I think the majority of Republicans and Democrats.
I really believe so.
I think that's the only thing they're going to agree on is that. So I think they're going to ban it. But the problem is, and like I said, I'm a free speech advocate. When you ban something, the United States, they're going to go. You can see the kids already going crazy. So that's a huge step. But and two,
they have an advocacies and everything.
Yeah, but two is they're paying people behind the scenes, TikTok. So they got lobbyists on deck like everybody else. The other thing too, I think we're kind of forgetting is the United States came out with that restrict bill, right, to ban it. And it's too broad. I read it. You can start banning domestic companies and everything. So if they're going to do a bill, I think they need to tighten that bill up and say foreign. They didn't have a percentage of ownership that made it foreign. So there was a big loopholes in it. And hell, I hang out with lawyers, but I'm not a lawyer. So I thought the bill was poorly written at best. And I thought it was overreaching. So,
And there's always little snakes and things that they put in those bills. So they try to pass it to make sure they can get a good majority. But there's always other little things inside of it that they're trying to push and pull. It says these are all the public universities that instituted TikTok bans. Man, these kids are gonna go crazy. It says, following state ban of the app on the statewide owned devices, several colleges have blocked the platform from campus Wi-Fi. So that's already went through a couple of those with you guys, but so you can physically see the list, especially people that are rewatching this or coming in. I named them, but here we are. We got Alabama here. You got Arkansas, state policy and the school policies. You got Florida here, Georgia, Idaho, Iowa, Maryland, Montana. And you know what? I haven't even heard this on the news. Have you? Because I just happen to be, I like to read different articles and newspaper stuff. So, but I haven't heard this on the news as far as the colleges. Have you heard anything, Ops?
No, the reason I have, because I did a video on the restrict bill itself, and another article started listening at when they were talking about the proposed bill of ban it. So when I did further research, like you said, I just came upon it. I just never seen it publicized anywhere either.
So did you watch any of the hearing at all?
I did, but for me, it became grandstanding. Half of those people don't even know what the hell TikTok is. They had their young researchers do it also. I thought a lot of it was I thought a lot of it was disingenuous grandstanding.
Disingenuous, yes.
So I just thought, they were trying to look good so they can have a sound bite for their estate to say that they would show that they were doing something. So for me,
exactly.
So I was, which I'm always, I was really let down because I didn't think it was anything substantive in there. It was just, okay, y'all evil. They didn't really break it down. They didn't really lay it out. Mm-hmm. They hit some high points from the security community, aka CIA, FBI, Department of Homeland Security. They all have their guys looking at it and talking about it and was feeding them points. But I didn't think they articulate. It's basically China's bad and United States good. That's kind of what I heard. But two is like you said, them dudes was spacewalking. Like, do your kids look at TikTok? Well, I was like, so. But
he was really good. He was really like moving around. He was moonwalking. He was doing crip walking. He was doing everything.
Well, I work in the fair space, and we do incident response. And part of incident response is communications. So they fed him the questions like like they knew they were getting subpoenaed, so they've been practicing them questions for about 3 months. Of course. That's one thing I was like, oh, that brother rehearsed because he didn't break a sweat, he didn't wink, he just kind of brushed his shoulders off and started talking. I'm like, oh yeah, you didn't. But people don't realize that is, I do incident response. This is an incident to them, so they're ready. They've been practicing in media, and I work with high profile people. If something big happens, train wreck, chemical spill, they're ready to speak to the media because they've been practicing that.
I mean, even to me with him, I just, like you said, you brought up that huge point. I felt like it was totally thought provoking. The fact that he said, our kids don't even have exposure to this. And it just makes, that's the point I really want people to understand, especially when you're on these social platforms. And when, and I always told my students, it's like, do y'all realize that this stuff never goes away? So, oh my goodness, where was that? I'm gonna bring that up next. I found, guys, I'll just talk about it. You guys can Google it, but you heard of, I know you know Ops. It sounds like you would have been right there with your camera. No pun intended, Ops. But anyways, they're doing a documentary on Freaknik. Does everybody know what that is?
I saw that. That's horrible. That's horrible.
You saw the whole documentary already?
No, I just seen the play. I don't think I'm gonna see it because you're gonna see Sister Marianne of the Deacon up in there booty shaking in 82, man.
But listen, Ops, that's the thing. The women, there's like, reading an article on the other day. There's 5 like top government women. I think one woman's in the CIA, the other woman, she's like in Congress or something. It's like 5 of them that are doing a class action lawsuit against I think Jermaine Dupri and no. Whoever made the Freaknik video, Hulu. They're suing Hulu because Hulu is the one that's showing it, right? And they're just saying that they never signed any paperwork. They never agreed to be on there. Once you tooted it up and turned around and you never said no, I'm just thinking that's an agreement, right? But I don't know what it was back in the 80s. But
the problem people don't realize is Amazon got it is they're gonna take those pictures and run facial recognition to some high-powered people, so they gonna really match people up. You think you're gonna hide because you gained 30 pounds? Oh no, that facial recognition gonna be like, that's a 98% chance that was her, and they gonna start posting it. So no, yeah. So I was there. They gonna see me, but I was skinny. They ain't gonna be able to find me. I was in there. I was there and shit.
Most of them are saying it's because they got family now. They're married. And I tell my students this all the time. Listen, don't be posting up nothing, taking pictures with nobody, being nowhere that you don't want your grandma or your mama or daddy to see, because that stuff stays there forever. And I don't think people think about that when they're in college and having fun and popping it like a hot and doing all the stuff you're doing, especially when you're recording it, that stuff will come back. And I'm just, it just utterly like, what was y'all thinking? Why do y'all think that y'all better than anybody else, that you can go out and act the fool? And now that you want to change, now I get it as we transition, as becoming from teenagers to young adults to adults, like you don't want it known, but it happened. Like I don't see how they have any shot with that, but you know, I don't know.
The crazy thing is, I didn't think, especially with camcorder and VHS, that would come back, right? I can understand now you doing stuff on Facebook, MySpace. At least that was in the cloud. You talking about getting shit off of VHS tape, man. That camcorder tape. But they could do it now because you could take your wedding from a camcorder and get it digitized. So that's what everybody's gonna do. They're gonna digitize it, right? And now they come up. So you're gonna see the mayor of so-and-so twerking in 95, which was called a Tootsie Roll. So
yeah, it's because I've gotten that done. I used to take a lot of videos with this that little handheld camera back in the day, and I can digitize to a CD because I wanted to make sure I had something else to use to play them on. And hold on, let me get this up so y'all can see this. So you guys can see these women. Let me get to this question, Ops.
Yeah, I saw Vaughn in there putting a whole bunch of questions. Go hit a Vaughn question in there. He got some questions.
You're right, emails. They should be acting a fool.
What would be the benefits?
I'm glitching. Ops, you see it? Read it. I'm glitching again. Did it pop up?
Yeah, I'm here talking.
It says.
Yeah. What's the benefits of banning TikTok?
Ops.
Yeah. The benefits of banning TikTok is you won't have 150 devices tracking United States citizens, saving their information. Because you got to remember is you tracking people's longitude and latitude of their movements now, right? You can go on TikTok. It'll show the location of where you at. So there's a lot of things I don't think people realize the stuff TikTok is tracking. If you go to TikTok terms and conditions, you will be astounding about the stuff that they're tracking. But don't get me wrong, Meta's tracking the same thing, but it's not going to a foreign government. So if I know you in Chicago and there's unrest, I can start feeding you stuff about Black teenagers to get you to vote or not to vote, right? I can get you upset, right? I can start attacking your beliefs because I know if you're Republican or Democrat, right? So now I can start feeding stuff to try to get you to vote a certain way, right? So people, and please believe China's massaging our elections because they got people, lobbyists, things they wanted to vote. They wanted to be certain chaos in certain cities. That's by design, right? Because they're a nation state. They have a 200-year plan, right? United States can't get a 2-year to agree on anything for 2 years. They have a 200-year plan. And this is part of their plan to get things approved, vote, if they could buy property in certain cities. So I think all of that put together is the benefits of banning TikTok, is their influence on the United States citizens. Now, two is, once again, I'm a free speech advocate. I think we're babying in the United States, but you can see that we're not responsible with data. We're not responsible. We got kids running crazy around here. So I think we need to take every precaution to try to control that. And I don't want to have a foreign nation states with 150 devices on United States soil.
I mean, if you just think about that logically, guys, it's not really a lot of explanation to it. Like, if you just think about that, like, you have another country that is a top accessor to the number one social media app that's in another country. That's really weird when you think about it. Like, because like most of the things that's big here in the United States, we are over them, the big companies, right? So to have a whole another country over and responsible for an app that everybody using in another country, I can see why people will be concerned about it. I mean, it's very simple.
And let's be real, those foreign countries don't let Facebook do all the stuff they do here. They don't let Snapchat do everything over there that they can do here.
Facts.
Right? So they're blocking
it's so
stuff
weird
and
how we
monitoring
let
stuff.
stuff.
Well, we're a free speech country, so but I
we're
think
free speech, but it's just we don't think sometimes. I'm just
Facts.
like, we too free. Like it's too much. It's too much. It's just obsessive. People are just obsessive. Okay, we're gonna bring this up. I'm gonna bring up another guest. Let me get that Freak Nick thing up. All right, here we go. If you didn't know, got women planning to sue Hulu over the Freaknik documentary. Let me get my where is it at? Let me get my fair use up. We're gonna do a little clip of it because they like to take stuff and snatch it and try to act like you copyrighted, but I've got all mine denied, so I don't get claims or whatever the bad one is. I just didn't go back and say nope, this is educational, and they always give me my money back. But let's see. It says women plan to sue Hulu over Freaknik documentary. The new Hulu Freaknik documentary has some former Atlanta partygoers worried. One of the group's prominent Black professional women is filing a lawsuit against the streaming service. Once again, if you're just coming in, hola to you, good day. Make sure you guys hit the thumbs up coming in. Make sure you're sharing. Sharing is caring. We're having a community discussion here. We're talking about different things that are going to affect you and your family. We first talked about TikTok and the ban on government entities. Now it is banning in many colleges around the United States. Now we on this. Do you guys agree? Should these women have the right to sue over this Freaknik video? So if you don't know, this is my research. I believe Freaknik started back in 1986, I believe, and it started at the Park Atlanta University. It was like 4 colleges that are there: Morehouse, Park Atlanta, all that, and then it transcended to like hugeness in the 90s, right? And so these women said if they have a criminal defense attorney, he's joined prominent leaders of their communities, and they are suing Hulu because they want to stop the showing of this documentary. They don't even want it to touch anywhere for people to see because they said that they are prominent people of the community now, and they should not be put to blast like this. So we got our fair use up. Okay, here we go. So let's play a portion of it. Let me know if you guys hear it. Let me play it. Put one in the chat if you can hear it. Okay, here we go. Can you guys hear it? Yes or no? Let me stop. Can you guys hear it? Let me see. You guys hear it? Yes or no?
I couldn't. You didn't play.
Ops, did you hear it? Okay. You couldn't hear it?
Yeah,
hold on. Let me put I'm tripping, Ops. I didn't even press the dog turn the mute off on the video. Okay, so let me try it again. Can y'all hear it?
Yeah, turn it up a little bit.
Women are so concerned about being potentially exposed.
Okay, did we hear anything? Put a 1 in the chat if you heard it. Let me know. Let me know if you heard
Turn it up a little bit. Turn it up a little bit.
Okay, cool. I'll turn it up. Hey, Anae, hopefully you're having a great day today. Shout out to Anae. She's a day 1 supporter too. We got Princessa in the building. She's saying fair use to everybody, saying hello. Let's see. Princessa, you would be difficult. I said put 1. She done put 6. I'm gonna excommunicate you. Shout out to Princessa, the powerful her. Oh, okay. I'm gonna bring you up, Vaughn. Hold on a second.
Yeah,
there you go. Okay, so here we go. Here we go. All right, guys. Okay, let's watch a little bit of it.
Some former ATL partygoers.
Hold on, let me make the guys. Okay, here we go. We're gonna clip and stop, because so you don't so they don't see you on the copyright. We're gonna stop it a little bit. Okay. Y'all need me to turn it up some more? Let me go to my okay.
Yeah, turn it up a little bit more.
I turned it up real good.
Okay,
here we go.
Freaknik documentary has some former ATL partygoers to streaming service. Criminal defense attorney and our good friend A. Scott Holden joins us to break down if the case is a case.
Okay, did we hear it? Yes or no? Put a 1 in chat because I can hear separately through my head.
It's kind of breaking up.
Or you guys can tell me on the panel.
It seems like it's breaking up quite a bit.
Yeah, I agree with.
Okay, I'll play it again, but just so you guys know, FYI, it's raining here, so it might be StreamYard on my end glitchy. So, okay, here.
From one streaming service to another. Then the new Hulu Freaknik documentary. Black professional women are so concerned about being exposed that they're reportedly filing a lawsuit against the streaming service.
Okay, so first off, before we get into it, I want you to tell me in the chat, and I want the panel to tell me, do you guys think they have a case? Yes or no, and tell me in a sentence or 2 why before we listen to what the prosecutor has to say. Tell me in the chat, and then you guys tell me on the panel, do you think that they have a case? And tell me why you believe they do or don't. Ops first and then Vaughn.
I don't think they have a case because they were in a public forum in a public place, and you can see there was videos happening. So I think their case is going to be flimsy at best. But in this climate, though, you could just start throwing out Me Too or something. So, but on the basis of it, they're gonna have to do something a little unique because it was a public place. They saw people, cameras, and you was driving it like it's hot. So that's my 2 cents.
Vaughn, hold on, let's go back. What Vaughn said? Hold on, let me bring up what you said before though. Vaughn says right here, Lord, if they had a camera on me back in the day. Before we listen to them, Vaughn, tell me, do you think they have a case? Yes or no, and why?
No, but I agree with Professor Black Ops because you're in a public place. You're at a public event. You see what I'm saying? So no, and yes, thank God they didn't have cameras on me back in the day because I used to do the fool now. See what I'm saying? but at the same yeah, but you know what, it was, if I was to see some of my shenanigans, I would just laugh at it and say, hey, that was me then, this is me now. I wouldn't make such a big deal out of it. I mean, it is what it is. The ladies were very loose back then, right? I believe they're even looser now. So, I mean, do they still have Freaknik? Is that still a thing?
No, it ended, I believe, in 1999. I think they the city canceled it or wherever it was at.
Well, could you imagine what it would be today?
They got the Miami thing.
They still do it. They still do it. It's not called Freaknik.
Yeah, and
I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, and I think too is I think people know they're on camera more, even though they still get wild. But I think this generation, they expect to be on camera. All right. So I think back then, and two is I think you're making it worse now. All those ladies talking, I'm going through all the footage looking for you now. You're
looking for them. Exactly. That's my point. They should have quietly did something. Quietly maybe paid Hulu or something to kind of bleep their faces out or something, because now people are looking for who are these women. You're right. That's a good point, Ops. They're gonna be looking and finding these women. I already seen when I was reading some articles last week. Have y'all seen this thing? They got one where they got Kanye bent over with his old Motorola camera, whatever, and this girl's like popping it all in front of him.
I saw
and it's
that.
A very young Kanye, very young Kanye. Wow. And it's so funny because that's just what people did back then. I mean, you seen it in the music videos. Like it was in the music videos everywhere.
Well, listen, if you think they were cutting up then, I mean, what do you think about what they're doing now?
Oh, it's crazy now.
Because this is now has to be 2.0.
No, it's 4.0, man.
It's 4. Hey, I agree.
Man, it's a 10. It's off the spectrum, man.
But two now, you got OnlyFans, you got Instagram. I was joking with somebody like, man, Instagram is damn near Playboy in '86, man. I had to pay for the.
I don't understand how those women on Instagram. I don't understand how the women on Instagram can post all that stuff, but they ban it everybody else's account. Like, I don't be on it like that, but I keep hearing people saying they're getting banned or put on suspension, and I'm like, these women are half naked. Like, they are naked pretty much. Whatever. I don't know.
But no, I just think, it's a new time. So on two is I think this generation is more transactional too. And they used to, everybody's got TikTok or Instagram. Everybody's, they, like you say, half naked sports bras and short shorts is, that's the norm now. That's kind of rare back then, right? So it's just a new generation. So I think if you compare that to time now, I don't think it shouldn't seem to, be that risque if you compare those two eras. What happens is, like those women says, is they're prominent, right? So they want to kind of erase the history of their life. Like, nah, you was popping like it was hot in '82, right? It's kind of hard to see Sister Johnson now than looking at the Freaknik pictures, right? That's gonna be a little tight. I'm gonna throw it to Vaughn and see what he got to say about Sister Johnson.
See, and that's what it is. I mean, we all have a past. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the point. That's the point. It doesn't matter who it is.
Now listen, some of us
just
just chose not to put it on blast like that. You know what I'm saying? Now I have some photos of myself at the club and doing, all kind of shenanigans. See what I'm saying?
I think the big difference is if the women
but that was
just,
then, you know what I'm saying? That was back then.
But I think if they would just be honest with it, because the whole point is it's not going anywhere. So even if Hulu stopped it, I'm pretty sure there's some old people, just like you said, Ops, that will restore some old video and it could pop up, and then they're looking for the highest seller. You know what I'm saying? So I think more so, yes, it's probably demoralizing. They probably hate that their family have to see it, or husbands or their kids. But I mean, at this point, it's touchy. Let's see what the chat's saying. And they says, no, if on public grounds, I think the fact they are drawing even more attention to themselves is odd. Princessa says, Luke and Dupree have been doing it for the last few years again. And you know what? Those are the people that actually, Princessa, produced this one. This Freaknik, it was Luke and Jermaine Dupree. That's what I read in the report. Let's see. Big Ben says, no Freaknik in 1982. I don't know what was going on in 82, Big Ben now. I have no clue what was going on. Let's see. Princessa says, Professor Black Ops, you got video footage? Ops, you got that old footage? Hey, listen, if Ops ain't got it now, he can restore it, because you know he know how to dig in the computer and get some stuff.
No, I
made a buck. With Ops.
I weighed $130 back then. I couldn't get no women, man. I wasn't high value back then.
And listen, back then we didn't have all that high techness. You see what I'm saying? You know, you had what was that?
We had them handhelds or your phone. But it was grimy. It was real grimy. And Mill says, I used to wear short shorts as a teenager. Like, who didn't? And that's my whole thing. Like, I can't stand when people, even with me in the generation I'm in, millennial, like, I can't stand when people act like, oh, like you're so shunned when you do something. Like, because every generation has its degregates. Every generation has this rebellious group of people, and it's just it's a rite of passage. So the fact that you did something that like extra, I guess you could say sexual or vulgar, I mean, it is what it is. You did it, but everybody, you know, like you guys are all saying, it's everybody has something and done something. Most of us smart enough not to do it on a camera or record it in a picture, but some of us didn't, and it is what it is. You did, and it is what it is.
Yeah, they pushing back too hard, so I think it's more than short shorts. You pushing that hard. I think you was doing a little. They done got you was doing a little too much. I think it's a little more. If I'm in short shorts, I'm not lowering up. That's all I'm saying. I think Sister Johnson doing a little more. We're gonna find out. If you was just had short shorts, I don't think you're getting a lawyer, right? So I think. Go ahead, Vaughn.
And that's the thing too. You know, listen. You know, I tell people all the time. You know, we weren't always saved. Now, come on. You see what I'm saying? We used to cut up and do the fool. You see, before we got some, you know, wisdom and knowledge. You know, and grew into maturity. You know,
exactly.
But you know, I'm not ashamed of it, because that's part of my life. That's part of my journey. That was part of my journey. Now, would I go back and change anything about it? No, absolutely not. You know, because that was a part of what caused me to be who I am today. You see what I'm saying? Some of those experiences, you know.
But my only pushback to Vaughn, which is super small, is
I know he is.
I think dudes can get away with that. Now you the sister,
That's
you
true.
blessing people. They don't expect you to have your dress up around your neck, Vaughn. I think they're gonna get a different reaction than what you gonna get, bro. I'm just throwing that out. So
now listen.
Hold on, Vaughn, real quick. That's why it's all ladies suing, right? They didn't say no dudes was suing, right? They said it was all ladies. Go ahead.
You see that? Now I wouldn't if I was in any of the footage, which I wasn't. But I'm just saying, you know, it is what it is, you know, and I would use it as a reference, as to show you, hey, look where I've come from. You know, that was me then. This is me now. But the women, I could imagine that all of them are going to be embarrassed, because, you know, they butts was up in the air and they were doing a lot of stuff, man.
And two is
Princess. Okay. What's her name? What's on the Sanford and Son? Esther. Princessa said she was Esther, born saved, sanctified, and Holy Ghost filled, by baptized. Our glory.
But let's be real. Let's be real on this. And Vaughn has an excellent point. Is Vaughn said it's a rites of passage. He telling the young dudes he made up. A lot of ladies been faking it for 20 years. I ain't never do nothing like that. I've been saved. I've never done it, right? So now all that's about to be disproved. That's all.
Yeah, and see, that's what that's the thing that bothers me about people. It's like, you know, you act like you don't have a shady past. Most of us do. You see what I'm saying? We've all sinned and come short, but at the
Everybody
same
has.
time, let's just own
Everybody.
it. Let's just own it. It's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with it.
But now
Hey,
people ain't been owning that for 20 years, Vaughn. People been
well,
lying,
look,
man.
what they
With
thought
their
they,
hand on the Bible, just straight lying. Go ahead.
and exactly what they thought they were doing in the dark, apparently now it's going to come to the light. So see,
And I'm gonna repeat what I told is too. With facial recognition, I can put your picture in, add 30 years to it, and I can go through all that in about 30 minutes and pull up about 40 pictures of exactly you with a 98% hit. So
wow.
a lot of
Listen,
people gonna be coming up.
they got filters. They got filters on TikTok. It's so amazing. They got filters where it takes you back to teenager. They got filters to make you look older. They got filters if you don't have dreads to show you with dreadlocks. I mean, just on TikTok, and that's like a handheld app. So, it's so much out there where you could just distort people and change them to whatever. It's pretty amazing when you think about it.
And then you have people who say, that generation back then, what they were doing, it kind of misled the young people now today, and that's where they got it from.
Right.
So there's a lot of blame on that generation. Well, we're the way we are because of what you did back in the day. You see what I'm saying? That nobody wants to, be accountable for anything anymore.
Yeah, and I tell people that too and I think that's the thing. I think where this is going to start, like you said, it's going to start pulling receipts on people. That's what the young kids say, right? There's some receipts about to be pulled.
Pull the receipts.
Oh, Sister Jess, why you down there twerking it on Luke's lap and shit?
That's right.
You know how they was doing it.
Hey, when you see the first lady on some of them videotapes, you're gonna be like, well, wait a minute, what was you doing?
Facts, man. Then too, a lot of dudes' feelings gonna be hurt. You think your lady was one way, you gonna see her upside down on somebody's lap. Come on, man.
On a handstand, on a doggone hand. And see, that's the thing. That's why not Tootsie Roll. You can't walk around like you holier than thou. And that's the thing. Like, I think that's what got a lot of people
exactly.
I guess convicted, because you acted like you was better, and you could have just been honest and say, yeah, I did these things. We all did. I don't care how minuscule it is. We've all done things that we don't want to come to light. Or I guess you could say skeletons in the closet, but that's really a rite of passage as you become an adult, going from like a teenager to an adult and then moving forward. Some of us, it takes a long time. We got to keep getting hit in the head and falling off the mountain. But it is what it is. So I don't like the fact that people will sit and try to judge or act like they're so good when they get older, like you never did nothing. Nobody can relate to a person like that, because that's not human. We've all done stuff. That's how we can relate to each other. That peace of mind to know, like, you're not going to judge me because I tell you. But people are so fake. I can't stand this, like, even motivation movement that I keep seeing on all, like, Instagram and everything. Like, I'm not even going to lie, I'm not on Instagram that much, but I see the fake gruelness because I read these articles about these people, like, burning out because they keep trying to keep up this facade. And then, like, they burn out because, like, cat's out the bag. You find out this person has been using people or suffering money or doing these little scam, I don't know, insurance things or real estate or whatever. And it's just like, y'all need to just stop it. Like, let's see what y'all say. Princessa says, how y'all know so much about these positions? And Mill says, my grandmother told my daughter and I how her and my grandfather hung out as teenagers drinking beer. Yeah. I mean, don't go back to moonshining days and stuff. I mean, dog, they had so much fun back in the day because they didn't really have to go to school. When you go back 2 or 3 generations, they were just kind of hanging out. Ergo, why they had all those kids, 5 to 10 to 15 kids. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, you just around chilling. Let me get back to the video, guys. Hold on before I forget. Go ahead, Vaughn, and I'm going to go back to the video.
No, I just wanted to say exactly, I have an 18-year-old, and I would be remiss if I didn't share with him some of my shortcomings so that he wouldn't fall into the same thing. Not just because we got a little older and a little wiser, doesn't mean that we've always been in that state, right? Come on, let's be real. So you mean to tell me, Dad, you actually been through this, that, and the other? Yes, I have. You know what I'm saying? Let's not put on these fronts and facades all the time as if we've arrived and we have no flaws.
And listen, it's necessary, guys, to let your kids know, because if you don't, that's what can encourage generational curse. Because you trying to be so high and mighty to them or act like, now listen, there's an area we have as parents where we should walk in a respect factor, but we gotta let our kids know what what happened to us and what we did and what we were a part of, so they don't recreate it, because it's naturally innately in them to be like us. And if they don't know, like, why am I getting these feelings about this, or why do I keep wanting to do this or be so mischievous? And little did they know, like, dad and mom did this when they was in high school. So if I know you did it, I can be like, oh, this is why I feel this way, but I need to stop. And then you can get that trigger right there as a parent, instead of you wondering when all these bad things happen to your kids, why are they doing this? Did you tell them honestly what happened with you, so they could see, like, no, I don't want you to go that far off? And I think that's really what it is. It's like this secretive thing we have in our families. We don't want to talk about what happened, or we don't want to say what happened once we get up in that high level of holiness, or whatever you want to call it. And that really does not do your kid. That doesn't fare your kid well. Please don't do that. Be honest with them, because if they can see that you are honest with them, they're going to respect you more to listen when you tell them something, instead of you just saying, don't do it. No, they're going to want to try it because you're not telling them why. And they're already looking at you as a parent, as somebody in authority that doesn't understand them. That's what I hear my students say all the time. My parents don't understand me, miss. You understand me so much. I might be maybe 10 years younger than your parents, but I have the same mindset because I have kids just like you guys. I have teenagers. So I'm not any different. The only thing is, you feel not connected to them because you're looking at them as disciplinaries. You're not looking at them as somebody that really loves you. And that's what your teenager will do, guys. They will trend from when they're in middle school to being teenagers, and they will start disliking you. And it's nothing you did. I'm just trying to hope this blesses some parent. Like, don't get caught up with them acting rebellious in that teenage stage, because that's what we did too, right? I don't care if you were a quiet rebellious and you were respectful rebellious. At some point in your teenage years, you did some slippity slide and stuff. You rolled your eyes and talked back to your mom and daddy, whatever. So parents, just understand that if you see or feel a disconnection with your teenager, just still keep offering to be there. Keep offering to talk to them. They might tell you no, but I'm telling you, they want to talk to you, but they got to see that you're going to keep offering it, because as a teenager, they get their kind of heartbroken quickly, men, boys and girl teenagers. So don't give up on them. I just want to push that, because I know I talk to multiplicity, thousands of parents, and they're rough. Why does my child talk to you? They won't talk to me. And I'm saying, that's just what we do. Like, I don't know. Kids want to talk to another person.
It's rough. It's rough. It's definitely rough at times. Because they're coming into themselves. There's that little rebellious spirit that jumps up, and so
my granny call it smelling yourself.
Well, yeah, so they want to, they oftentimes want to try you, so you just have to listen. I'm learning as I go. You see what I'm saying? I'm learning as I go. But thank God that I was brought up a certain way, and some of those principles and standards and statutes and morals, I have taught that to my son from a young child. I just didn't wait till he got, teenage, to teach him some things. But it's still a challenge now, even in at this age. You see what I'm saying? Because they think they know everything. So I've been there. I thought I knew everything until I figured out that I didn't.
It's just stages, and it's really what you need as a rite of passage to go from that childlike stage to being an adult. You need to be confident to think you do know something, because woe be unto them if they feel like they don't know anything and they don't kind of try us. I mean, to be honest, y'all got to stop acting like the kids are going to be perfect. Like, if your child does try you, and even if it's kind of defiant, just trust and believe and know, like, that's honestly kind of good that they kind of feel confident enough to say something back. Now, they might get a doggone response from you because they did it, but I'm just saying, like, some kids don't even feel strong enough, or that they have enough say to even speak. And those are the kids that get the most they struggle the most in life, right? So a lot of times when they're doing that, being defined, a lot of times if you kind of try to talk to them and explain why you're punishing them or why they're wrong or whatever, they will listen. But if we're honest, it's already been combative by the time you get to that level with your teenager, to where it's already a back and forth with the parent and teenager. So it's just tough. Hey, Gail, she says, make sure you guys press the like button when you come in. Yes, and share with 2 to 3 people while you guys are here. She says they smelling themselves. Yep, that's what my granny them says. Let's see. Princessa says, I swung on my parents. Listen, if some of y'all ain't gonna be honest, you be real here. You know that you did it. Listen, you know that you did it. Everybody. People have done it. I'm not saying everybody, but people just don't want to admit it because they want to be high to the tutti frutti, good shoes. Like, but I'm telling you, most people have done that or tried to hit them or whatever. She says, I swung on my parents. They knew better. I got that strap on the tails. If you believe this, I have a bridge to a tub of dehydrated water to sell you. But see, listen, most people have done that. They've swung on their parents. They've done all that stuff and they knocked you back probably the next week. But I'm saying, like, all these different things, you can't always attribute it to the child being bad or disrespectful. Now, disrespect elicits a pattern. Now, if the child has a pattern of doing these things consistently, that's a different level. But if if it's something where you see your child just kind of was out of pocket one time, or they smelled themselves or kind of got bucked, as long as it's not something continual, that's just normal what kids do. They don't know how to express themselves in a way like it took us 10, 20, 30 years to do, if that makes sense. Like, I'm just trying to get it to relate to some of you, because I know in the moment you're mad, all you want to do is just do whatever, knock a kid out or punish them or whatever. But if you step back and get out of your emotions when you're dealing with your child in that anger, you'll understand and see that it's just the only way they know how to express themselves is to respond in those type of ways, because that's how they get respect, with the other peers and stuff, to act out. So hopefully that bless somebody. I don't know. Let's see.
Listen, I would be honest, if if you ever raise your hand to me, it would definitely be with my last breath, because that one we just don't do, and the disrespect part, that's something that we have to deal with as well, because it can be very subtle. If you allow subtle disrespect to go unaddressed, it forms like the snowball effect. You see what I'm saying?
True.
So some things you just have to nip in the bud. You know what I'm saying? You just have to nip it in the bud. And
like I told you, it's something that happens continuously. So like you said, if you're doing those things early on, nip it in the bud, it's not going to be something where that child is doing these things consistently. They're going to have their moments and moods where they try you or do stuff. But yes, that's the key thing, Vaughn. When you see those things, you have to enact. You have to react and enact, so they understand that this is not what you do. And you guys got to realize too, if their hormones are out of whack, it's so much going on in their brains too, that a lot of times they're doing things and it's not really cohesive. It's just, I'm so emotional, I don't know how to say it. And Mill says, I'm so grateful my 35-year-old married daughter feels comfortable to talk to me about what I feel more like a guidance counselor. I offer no negative marriage advice. Shout out to you, because a lot of people will jump in there and just try to tell them what to do. Can we windmill on them? Princess said, can we windmill on the kids? And Mill says, my mother still threatens to slap my brother and I lips off our faces. Yeah, old school mom.
Facts.
Old school moms are not playing. They don't care if they 3 feet tall or 4 feet.
Yeah,
they're not playing.
Listen, I'm the good cop often, and my wife is the bad cop. The majority of the time, because she lays the law down on him. You know what I'm saying? Now I lay the law down on him in my way, but she's a little more emotional about things than I am. You see, I like to deal with you up here. Sit down. We're gonna have a 2-hour conversation. See, that'll learn it. Yeah, exactly.
I know he'd be like, oh, they hate when you talk to them. That's
so
even
what
worse
would you
sometimes.
prefer? What would you prefer? Because see, my language is ongoing. We know, we should try not to provoke our children to anger and anger and violence.
That's biblical. You can't.
And that is a biblical statement.
Yes,
a lot of us we pick and we pick and we pick and we don't understand that. Like you said, the hormones and the adolescence, and they're growing and different things that they're coping with, the peer pressure. And then the peer pressure, and then the pressure at home, and then the pressure at school, and then you see what I'm saying? And sometimes you have to be aware of your child, because they may be on the verge of snapping.
That's
you
true.
See, and then now, because you didn't really take notice, you're shocked all of a sudden. You see, we really ought to be able to tap in and be able to see, what's coming down the road, and that has to do a great deal with communication. Has to be an open door of communication. And it's very hard for some of these teenagers to open up to parents. My son always telling me, yeah, Dad, yeah, okay, Dad. They try to blow you off, and I'll let you get away with that for a few times. But then there's the hour and a half conversation that we're gonna have to have. You see what I'm saying? So then there's that.
No, facts. The funny thing is, my mom was 90, and she hate when I cuss. So I took her to the doctor. I said something. I knew she was feeling well when she slapped me behind my head. I'm like, I'm 50. How you hitting me? She said, I don't like those words, son. So
I love it.
So she was giving me that guidance at night. That's when I know she's feeling well. But she just go reach over and just slap me in the back of my head. I'm like, what are you doing?
You know, it's like parenting never ends. You know, I'm 60 in my 60s, and listen, you know, my mother is still parenting me. Well, you know, you ought to think about this, and you know, she's still giving me advice.
Facts, man.
You know, and so I have to humble myself and listen, because see, she may know something, or she may have a word that I'm not privy to. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, my mom old school, so she's like, okay,
mine is too.
You the head of the house. I'll pass the torch, but you're gonna have to get these words. So my mom always gonna say, I'm gonna give you this advice. You don't have to take it, but you getting it. I like, yes, ma'am.
That's what my mom said.
And half the time the advice was right on point. So you know,
that's true.
Till the day she died, she was giving me some advice. She said, you need to, and she be on my son, boy. I used to sick her on my son so she could leave me alone.
Yeah, I do the same thing. But you know what I found is that, you know, there's such a great difference in the way that she treated me growing up than she treats my son. It's like, how do you let him get away with that attitude? Yep. But you snatched me when I had it. How do we do that now?
And my son, the street guy, I come over there. My son coming out, just taking a gun, putting it on the TV. I'm like, how you got the gun on the TV? My mom was like, oh, he's fine. He protecting us if something happened. If I done that, you would have slapped my lips off my face.
That's true. That's favoritism to your kids. They it's like they I think they feel like they're relaxed now since they're done with you. So they let the kids do whatever.
It's like they get
listen, and got the nerve to side with them too. When you try to discipline them, they didn't do. Come here.
Well, it's like they get. It's like they get to redo. You know what the mistakes that they made with you. It's like they get a redo with the grandchildren. You know, I noticed that.
But too, like you said, it's a different time. Everything moves a little faster, and so you know everything is a little earlier. So it's just funny to watch my son and my mom when they hung out. How you know how they interacted with each other. So.
It's a blessing to
see
it, though, because a lot of people don't get.
I was just getting ready to say that.
You know, so it's so awesome to see, because like, and then you think about how you reflect in your child, so your mannerisms, and then like when you see your parent, and then you see your child, and like I don't know, with me, it's so interesting to watch, because it's just like, you know, I don't know, I think about it as blessings. Like I'm very grateful. I know I try to talk about that with everybody. Like I'm always like thankful and grateful, and just kind of in the moment when I see that type of stuff, and I don't know, I'm just grateful that generation can see that other generation.
Oh,
you know
exactly.
So this weird thing, my son is 5'10", 350. I seen him pick up a man and body slammer. So my mom collapsed on the steps and comes over. My son's picking her up. So we about to run her to the hospital. My mom tells my son, put me in my bed. I ain't going to the hospital. My son don't know what to do. I'm like, you 350, man, take her to the hospital. She won't let me. I'm like, get out of here. So I come over there, I pick her up and we throw her in the car and take her to the hospital. She was all right, but I'm like, dude, I seen you pick up people body slam, but he always respected his grandma.
He's being respectful. Yep. That's respect. That's respect.
She's like, no, she won't let me. I'm like, dude, you 350. I had to run over there and handle it, but no, it's just funny to see those two when they were together. It was just funny.
It's such a blessing. Oh, let me get back to the video. We done got on a whole nother tangent. Let me bring it back up. Okay, listen. Right? So if you're coming in, some of y'all ready for it, because y'all know y'all threw it back, right? So we talking about the Freaknik video, and there are these 5 prominent Black women, and they are trying to sue Hulu to stop the showing of the documentary Freaknik. I forget the whole title. All right, so we have an attorney here, and he is going to talk about if there's viability for this lawsuit. I asked you guys probably about 15 or 20 minutes ago, do you believe these women have the right to sue? Yes or no, and tell me why in a sentence. So we're going to go back and we're going to see what the attorney has to say about it. So here we go.
Attorney and our good friend A. Scott joins us to break down it.
Can we get one in the chat? Because I don't want to keep playing it if I can't hear it on panel. Can you guys hear it? The little bit I played, yes or no?
I heard something. Yeah, I heard something, but you didn't.
Okay, good.
You know,
As long as you can hear
let it go.
I
something.
heard it.
Okay, I didn't want to keep it going and you guys in here. So here we go.
If they have a case because they claim to not have signed leases. First of all, is there, we're talking about the release of this documentary on, which was a party during a period, have a case. Well, it depends on.
Okay, is it breaking up? Because I'm looking at my other phone and it looks like it's glitching.
It's glitching.
Can you guys
On
hear
mine.
it? Can you hear them talking though?
Yeah, it's breaking
can you
up.
hear it clear?
It's definitely breaking up.
Oh, it's breaking
Nah,
up.
We can hear it, but it's
Okay,
breaking
hold on.
up.
Let me make
Yeah.
this smaller.
Yeah, I was struggling.
Okay, hold
Now
on.
I don't know. Maybe
let me look
now
at my
listen.
thing.
I know you got some music in the background. If you turned that off and then played it, would it maybe make
Okay,
it
let's
better?
try
But I'm
it.
not sure. I don't know.
No, I'm looking
'cause
at
not a tech-
StreamYard.
I'm not a
It's
tech
telling
person.
me like it's between 2 and 3 on StreamYard. Because like I said, it was like
Oh,
the weather here was
okay.
kind of going crazy. That's why, like when you guys were talking, I was about to say, okay, just stop for a second. Because I could see like on here when it had the bandwidth was high on StreamYard, because like it acts crazy sometimes. Okay, cool. Let me play it now because it looks like I got a full thing. Hold on a second.
Against the streaming service. Criminal defense attorney and our good friend A. Scott Bolden joins us to break down if they have a case. They claim. Good morning. First of all, good to see you. Good to see you. We need some legal expertise on.
Can you guys hear it on my end, or is it still breaking up?
It was a little better. It was still breaking up a little bit.
Okay, cool. Because it looks like I got the full bandwidth now. So I'm just going to let it play. And if you guys didn't hear it, I'll tell you what they say.
This particular topic. First of all, is there, we're talking about the release of this documentary on, which was a party during a period where there was no social.
It's muted now. It's like it's on mute now.
Okay, all right, princess. I'll see you later. Okay, I'm gonna.
No, I'm with you, Vaughn. I couldn't hear anything either.
Oh, okay.
Inappropriate.
I'm gonna decrease it because I can hear perfectly on my end, which is weird, but
kind of giving themselves.
It is what it is.
Their,
you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna actually take it off of full screen, and then let me know if you guys hear it. Other than that, we're just gonna chop it up and talk about it because I can read it. I can read it in the description what's going on. So, here, let me get into it. All right, let's see if I take it off full screen. Can you guys hear it better? If not, we're just gonna chop it up and talk about it. That's so weird. I don't know why it's clicking like that. Okay. Okay. All right, princess. I'll see you later. Whoops. Okay. All right. Let's see.
Boop. They can't claim inviolation.
Wow.
I can't hear it. It's stuck on my end. I don't know if Vaughn can hear it. I can't hear it.
No, I can't hear it at all.
What I was doing, I was just listening on my end. I'm listening, so I could just tell you what he's saying. So basically, what he said was, he said that they were in a public place and they were displaying themselves in this type of manner and this candor. And it was public. He said that they really don't have anything like we were discussing. They really don't have skin in the game on it because you actually were in a public place handling yourself in this, I guess you could say, disrespectful way, depending on who's looking, if it's disrespectful. And that's basically what the attorney was saying. So my thing is, like I said, it's going to be touchy with this one because it's already out there. I'm pretty sure somebody probably is holding it for hostage for these people anyway. Somebody already had it out for these women. So, but I mean, and it goes into how far will you go for some things? Like what is the limit to where your excessiveness would be, I guess, as a child, or is there a limit? That's my question to you guys on the panel. Like, is there some type of discretion where we can say the average person would know, like, that I need to stop at that limit? Or do you think it's per per situation
No,
is a
I think
question.
it's a bell curve like anything. I think you got 20% of people gonna be butt naked. So, I just think, you're gonna have about 30%
I think
shaking
it's
it too
higher than
much.
that.
I'm trying to be nice for the old people, but so
I think it's
Yeah.
way higher than that.
I
You
think,
being conservative? Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
I think you're gonna have that natural bell curve, and the problem is one of those too far gonna be Sister Johnson, and it's gonna come out, man, because those rappers and those people in those clubs, they're gonna have them cameras. People didn't think they were going. People gonna be selling footage to Hulu for a good price, and I think some people, I'm sure they're gonna blur some of it out, but I think, as always, you're gonna see about 10% just gonna be doing way too much. So the question is, are they gonna show that or not?
But see, then you may have some of the women who, would enjoy looking back and saying, "Wow, wow, dropping it back then, dropping it versus now, totally different." See what
Yeah,
I'm saying? But
but
boy, I sure could drop it back in the day.
I
See
think
what
that
I'm saying?
percentage is low, Vaughn. I could be wrong. I
Yeah,
think that percentage is gonna be low because I think people like she was saying, they got that false Instagram, that false church, and
oh
man,
it's
you
gonna put a
know,
blemish. Yeah,
yeah, you almost see
it'll put
Sister Johnson dropping it to Luke, dropping it to
it,
Luke.
yeah, it, it,
So,
it would put a blemish, I guess, on what you're doing now. But if you're honest about it, say, hey, I have a testimony, and let me tell you exactly what I was doing back then,
that
and how I
sound good,
came,
but I'm gonna be looking you
how I
at the side,
matured.
Ivan. I'm gonna be looking at you at the side. I go ahead. I sound cool, but I'm gonna be like Sister Johnson. I don't know what the hell she was doing, man. She talked about praise God. She sure was praising Luke. But go ahead, Vaughn.
But see, and that's how it is. That's how it is. But you know what? People change, and it's nothing
That's
wrong
true.
with that. It's nothing wrong with looking back and saying, Look, my soul looks back and wonder how I got over." You see what I'm saying? I
But
could have been dead. I could have had an STD back in the day.
yeah, but
People,
Vaughn,
you don't think about the promiscuity
facts.
that was going on back then. You see what
But
I'm saying?
but
And some
Vaughn,
of
you
this,
didn't lie about it. You said I was maybe doing a little too much. People
oh
were talking
yeah,
about they
yeah,
were a virgin till they were 30, man. So I
yeah.
was
Well,
just
see,
going
yeah.
around. Go ahead, man. Go ahead, man.
But see, that's the thing. You have the form of godliness, and that's what a lot of people have. They just have the form of it only.
Oh, facts.
But on the inside, man, all kind of chaos and things going on.
I think super religious people are the worst. Like, I can't stand
Yeah,
how
me
people
too. Me
really
too.
act like they're so holy and they,
Yeah.
honestly, I'm saying that honestly, and a lot of you've been at church or you go to church, the sister or the deacon elder that sits the most prestigious with their nose up is the most evilest one, because you're just so mean. That's not even godly to be mean to people or judgeful or condemnation. It's okay to have conviction, because conviction is what shifts you to grow and change. But condemnation is just like you keep hitting people, telling them what they did wrong, they're not better. You hold whatever the thing the thing they did over their heads. That is not, they ain't godly at all. And so people that do that,
Exactly.
I would call that out quick, because it's like, this is why people want to always say this faux pas of, that's why I don't go to church, because of them church people and the church hurt. And it's like, listen, you shouldn't just go to church to be going to church anyways. You should have a relationship with the Most High. And I think that's the connection that people miss. You think that emotional thing that they do at church is what like God should be to you, and it shouldn't be that, because it's a natural innate thing we're born with. We're born with right and wrong in our heart and the conscience. I don't care if you're atheist. I don't care what you say you are. You're born with that in you, and you know right from wrong, and you know how to treat people. It's your choice if you choose to do it. But when you get, it's pride, when you feel like you better than people, and I get it. Listen, I get it. When you do things in the past, you don't, especially if you've made something yourself. Yes, you don't want everybody to bring it up and know it. But guess what? If it happens to happen, just trust and believe. You're gonna wake up. It's gonna be a brand new day. And the thing about us, especially in America, we're fickle. They'll talk about you for a day or two and they moving on to the next person. So like I think this will be a day or two or a week. But these women, even if it came out, they're gonna move to the next person. I don't think they're gonna have any issues. What do you guys think?
And you know what? How did we get to this place in our lives where, we're so pretentious, as if we don't have to spray behind ourselves when we come out the bathroom? Come on.
No, that's a good question. I don't know.
Do you see what I'm saying? It's like, is there any what happened to the humanistic side of us? You know, it's okay to be spiritual, you know, but don't be so spiritually minded that you're no earthly good. You see what I'm saying? You know, come on. You know, if we don't use deodorant, we're gonna have a stench. That's a humanistic side of us. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Everything don't smell like roses.
The problem, though, I think, is Miss B Finesse. Now, her personally is once those people come out, it's gonna be 100 videos coming out. Everybody gonna be like, "She's the governor." If it's gonna be 40 YouTube videos, then you know, black people, we're gonna have to gender war. So they gonna be picking.
Oh yeah, you know they're gonna.
Well, let me tell you.
So,
let me tell you.
I'm videos on replay.
If they ever put it out, I'm definitely gonna watch because I'm gonna pick some of y'all out. No, let me quit. Let me quit. Let me quit.
He gonna pick them out.
So I think that's what people worried about is, and everybody got a YouTube channel, especially little kids. They're gonna be sharing your picture. They're gonna be talking to your grandkids. Sister Johnson's a hoe.
But guess what? You just have to deal with that. Like if it does happen, and it's more likely that it probably will than won't. It's just a part of life. You just have to deal with. I mean, the scandal is everywhere. I'm so shocked about how much scandal is on YouTube the little time I've been here. People be going for throats and broke on folks you ain't never met or seen. Y'all want to create videos and pages, and then people that you thought was your friend, they're sitting there talking to you, and then now that they found that somebody doesn't like you, they jump on the bandwagon. And I'm looking at these people like, this is crazy. Like what in your heart is so dastardly that you want to bazooka somebody you've never met in real life? They're never going to think about you because you had a Twitter war or a YouTube war, or they looked at you wrong, or you was in the wrong person's chat and you said something. My whole thing is this: why are people so flustered when people just say what their opinion is? My whole thing is this is probably why I don't have the beef thing. I don't get into it. If you got to beef with me, I don't know. I'm living life. I don't know you got to beef with me, but I don't really judge people off of what they say because I know that they have the free will to choose a choice. But what I do appreciate is, can you come to me and can we have a discussion about it? Because my whole thing is, I want to know why you feel, say, or do what you do. And I honestly want to know why. And I can come into understanding when I'm done talking to you that I can agree to disagree with you. I don't got to be mad at you, hate you. I don't got to make you agree with me. Like, that's what I don't understand about this culture on social media. People get mad when you don't agree with exactly what they feel. And then they turn to this cancel hate barrage thing. And I just don't understand that in my real life. Like I've never seen this until I got on YouTube and just seen how people work. It's crazy.
But you said something in real life. Most people living their life on YouTube. How do you get views? Beefing. Most of that stuff is view driven and money driven because they're not making money in real life. Right. I do YouTube as a hobby. Right. So I think a lot of people that to me called that drives the most views is the beefs and the I call you out and are you this, are you that? Then people start teaming up. Like I was like you when I first saw it. I'm like, we grown, man. We really doing this. But I think that drives. I know. Well, I'm gonna take it. I know that drives views. So I think that's why a lot of people do it.
But to me, like I get the views. There's other things you can talk about the drive views. I see the vitriol of it all because I didn't know about a lot of stuff. Some of y'all would email me, "Hey, beefing us, y'all see I went on a hiatus for a week or two, whatever," and you guys would contact me, and I look over the video and stuff, and I would be like, "Whoa!" And I already know it's something deeper than just the outside of it. Something going on in that person's heart. It's something going down because the energy that you put into it, it's just so menacing. It's like, I can understand being mad at somebody or saying whatever you got to say to them because you don't agree, but it's so menacing where they'll dox and pull up all kind of stuff on the people, and you want people to come to their house, and I'm just like, what would make you want to do all that? And why do you have that time in regular life? Like, I don't know. I just think that's very extreme personality complex to do those type of things. I don't care what somebody did to you. Like, just shut them off.
The problem is, once again, you live in real life. A lot of people live online, so I think they take those attacks super personal. Okay. I told people, I told people the only thing I really talk about is tag. I'm not talking about relationship. I ain't talking about red pill, blue pill, gender war. I stay away from that because people live their life online because I think their life sucks in real life. So people take this highly serious more than their real life because I think this is for them as an extension of it. To me, this is a hobby. Go ahead, Vaughn. I'm gonna throw it to you, man. Get off my soapbox.
No, listen, I agree. I agree exactly with what you're saying. You know, to me, it's kind of like what do they call those rooms that you go in and you know, they have a big mallet or something in there, and it has all of these different objects that you can just hit and destroy to just, you know, get
Oh,
rid of some of
yeah,
your
one of those
frustration.
places. Right.
You
Or you
know,
can throw glass or plates and stuff.
however, it just break and destroy stuff and be reckless, right? So you know, this is how I see some of these spaces. You know, it reminds me of that type of scenario where you're trying to get all of this frustration out. You see what I'm saying? All this pent up aggression. You see what I'm saying? And so you have different things like Fight Club and, you know, different formats where you get together for the specific purpose of just arguing with each other and yelling and screaming and, you know what I'm saying? And to me, I don't know, you know, how you feel afterwards. You know, do you feel better on the inside afterwards? You know, to me, it's just, I don't know. It just seems like it promotes negativity to me. I don't think that's a good I don't think it's a good form of therapy. That's
Well,
and I'm not a therapist, so
I can tell you it's not, Vaughn. And it's not because if you're not having a call to action, if there is no end game, it's okay to debate, even raise your voice and talk and go back and forth as long as there's a respect factor there. Because you can, I believe you can raise your voice and be passionate about something and still respect the other person. But if there's no call to action, there is no premise or purpose to why we're doing this, yet only buts to argue, then no. All you're doing is creating vitriol and you're stirring up these contentions between each other that you probably wouldn't have had if somebody had enough sense to just stop it or say, okay, listen, we argued, we did 5-10 minutes of this. Now, how can we change? And that's what I've noticed. Like if I'm not a part of how can we change, I'm not even getting into discussion. I'm computer closed, not even going there for what? Because I'm not about to sit there and tell them, why are y'all doing this? Y'all got to stop doing that too. Stop going into the dungeon with these people and then telling them, well, why are y'all doing this? Why can't we all get along? They know exactly why they're doing it. It's something about their psyche that it just works. Or money, obviously. You know, money sells, controversy sells, fights sells, gender war sells, all these things sell. So we know why they're doing what they're doing. It's very obvious to me. I don't question it.
Yeah.
But two is
let's see, Big Ben.
Yeah,
Big
read
Ben
that.
says, shout out to you. Thank you, Big Ben, for the super chat. I definitely appreciate that. He says the men need to be concerned as well because there are some who are already trying to Me Too the men in the documentary. Oh, really? That buck dancing Mark Lamont Hill is a main one portraying black men as savage. Oh, really?
Yeah, I saw
and
that.
You know what? It's my goodness. No, I didn't know about that.
So it get the plot thickens, huh?
Wow. Because you see that a lot of times. They're gonna be saying they were grooming girls. A lot of girls were long. They didn't want to do it. So they're right. There's gonna be, especially Kanye, gonna be the first one on the list. They already got him with the camcorder, damn near touching her butt. So he's gonna be the first one on the menu they gonna get.
And you know what's interesting? And I pray this don't twist into this. I'm hoping this is not an edge one of these women use. I'm really hoping it don't turn into something like that. I'm hoping, because that's it. I'm just gonna be quiet. I hope that's not it. I hope that's not it, because that is the worst way to help support victims when people do this shiesty bull crap because you just don't want nobody to know what you did.
Because that's gonna be your get out of jail free card, right?
Exactly.
You're gonna blame the other person. So that's
okay. So now, am I mistaken that I can recall back in the day, Freaknik, and I believe like on BET or one of those channels, they would give highlights
at night.
That.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? So it has already been broadcast, of what went on back then.
But think though, they bringing up 20 years and saying, guys, this shit 20 years ago.
Oh, come on.
Right? What's the dude, the guy that just went to jail that was the director with the couch? That happened 20 years ago, man. You had to get with him to get a movie role. That was 20 years ago, man. So they definitely gonna bring that up.
Yeah.
Man, I hope not.
Well, I believe that there's an agenda. I think it all ties into an agenda to make our people look bad. You see what I'm saying?
I agree with that.
And that's how they do, you know.
But too, we fought for it though. That's the sad thing about it.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. I was just, it's like
right
we can choose what to do and what not to do, and we always fall into the trap. So let's move it forward to something else interesting, but just it's crazy. I definitely want to know what you guys have to hear about this because this is a Black-owned business. Have you guys heard about this? This franchise. She's called Slutty Vegan.
Yeah, I've heard that.
No pun intended on the word. I think she does. What is it called? Vegetarian cuisine. Basically what happened in a nutshell. She's plant-based, right? She's worth over $100 million. Her whole franchise, which is awesome. I don't even think she's been around that long. It says the restaurant empire backed by Shake Shack's Danny Meyer, I guess he's an investor, big investor, faces wage theft lawsuits in 2 states. Okay. So basically, in a nutshell, before I kind of read through what the article says and we discuss it, basically what was happening is she has I think a sub franchise of this food chain, and basically the workers there were saying that they were working overtime, that they were not paid their tips, and just a plethora of things. And we're gonna go through what this girl says, and I want to know, do you guys think this is kind of a thing that goes on with Black businesses, or do you think this is an attack on her, or do you think she just needs to restructure her management? So let me read it to you guys, and then you tell me, are you in agreement with the lady that owns the business or with these workers? It says 3 employees are filing a lawsuit against Brooklyn's Slutty Vegan restaurant. It says the workers claim the restaurant failed to pay bonuses, did not adequately compensate for overtime, and miscalculated the paychecks. Founder, her name's Pinky Cole, is also facing a lawsuit from an employee of her Atlanta restaurant, Bar Vegan. So she has a bar also besides the restaurant. It's called Bar Vegan, over alleged wage theft too. So these are a multiplicity of different lawsuits, right? Since less than a year after Slutty Vegan opened the doors in New York, the buzzy restaurant attracted lines down the block. Is facing a federal wage lawsuit. Atlanta-based vegan burger chain is being sued by 3 employees of its Brooklyn location who allege their bonuses went unpaid. It says the plaintiffs are seeking monetary damages of excess of $150,000 for a breach of contract, which violates both New York state and federal labor laws. The lawsuit, which was filed in April, includes a claim that one of the 3 plaintiffs was required to pay to do his laundry at least 2 times a week because he was provided only 2 uniforms. Let's get into what she's saying. She says, in a statement to Insider, representatives of the Anderson Group Public Relations, speaking on behalf of Slutty Vegan, said that the company does not commit on pending litigation, but is reviewing it with our legal team and is committed to complying with the applicable laws. It says they maintain an open door policy and invite employees to express their concerns. So it says in January, the restaurant's vegan bar had a similar lawsuit alleging that Cole and her business partners withheld tips. And this is what she wrote. She addressed this on Instagram. This is what she says. She says, so she had like shows that canceled on her, which I know is a hit to her business, right? And she says, I don't lie, I don't steal, and more importantly, I don't play with people's monies. She said, today's show canceled my segment. She says, since I was a kid, I have only operated with integrity. I don't lie, I don't steal. More importantly, I don't play with people's money. Maybe it's the Caribbean in me, but God won't bless you when you operate in fraudulentness. She said, this week I was named in a lawsuit alongside my partners. She said, up until this point, I was not familiar with this ordeal or the employees because she says, I do not run the day-to-day operations. She said, because it's a sexy story to make a community leader look like a bad guy, this has become headline news. She says, what do I gain withholding somebody's money and earnings? Earn money when my blessings are overflowing. All right, let's get down to what she's saying. She says, blah, blah, blah. She says, at the end of the day, my name means more to me than money ever could in my bank account. And she says, I will never let anybody destroy that. She says, to get a call that I was removed from tomorrow's show because they don't want to be involved in storylines, it's bizarre to me. She says, that's the price you pay when you decide to be a boss, double-edged sword. Okay, so what do you guys think about this from what you've heard so far? So she got sued previously for her bar, Bar Vegan. This was, I believe, in Atlanta, and then she's in a suit right now that's in Brooklyn's court. There's 3 people suing her.
For me, that's the price of doing business. I don't think it's anything outlandish, especially if you got lines coming out the door. People gonna make stuff. I mean, like she said, she's not running day-to-day business, and as a bar, the laws are different in Atlanta, New York, and those 3 states. So if she's not running HR, and to be, I mean, I sound kind of arrogant. It's only 150 grand. Man, I would just cut that check. And 2 is she needs to stop posting her PR post. She needs to let her PR people post. But for me, 100 million, 150, that's just part of doing business. People gonna make stuff up. HR, you're gonna get stuff wrong. You pay your fine and keep it pushing.
Yeah. And like Professor Black Ops said, listen, she wasn't handling some of the day-to-day stuff. So where are those people when these complaints were brought to them? Why didn't they get on top of it? You see, because when things are brought to you, seem like you would get on top of it, because after you ignore individual, well, yeah, they're going to take all these different measures. You see what I'm saying? To say, no, I was treated unfairly. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, it seems like the business is doing quite well. It's got a catchy name. And many people are into, plant-based, living that plant-based life, and making it taste like regular food, so it seems to be a lucrative business, but unfortunately, you got to stay on top of stuff, and you have to really, know who you have delegated different things to do in a company.
Do you think she should just pay it too, Vaughn? Do you think she should just pay the $150,000 out to just kind of wash it, or do you think she should stick with litigation and fight it?
Well, see, I don't know. If someone's trying to get money out of you unfairly, then I would say fight that. But if you are negligent in regards to what these concerns were, then you should pay up.
Okay, so this is the next question. This is the next question for both of you. This is the next question, because if you're a business owner, or if you're thinking about it from another perspective, she is the owner of the business. Do you think that she, at all points, even if she isn't in the day-to-day, she's still responsible for this, even though she's saying that I'm not at that bar?
Yeah,
because your name. So tell me what you guys' perspective of that is.
It always rolls up to the president. In the end,
she's the project manager. A manager. Didn't you see Celebrity Apprentice?
Yeah. So it's gonna always roll up to her. So she's responsible. But my only, once again, little pushback to Vaughn is I got lawyers on deck. When they charge you $500, you can spend a lot of money trying to be right. That's all I'm saying. So after a while, you just got to cut your losses and eat it. Now, like Vaughn said, is once I pay this one person, HR, we need to get some stuff in effect. We need to be signed some NDAs and some HR paperwork, so this don't happen again. But sometimes you can spend a lot of money to prove you right.
Yeah, that's true too. That's true too.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, from my perspective, when I'm looking at it, as a business owner, it's always going to come to you, even if it was never your fault. So I think, like you said, I wouldn't even responded. People will say what they want to say, especially her getting canceled from that Today Show. But, her doing what she did, meeting that over expectation of her business and just really pushing forward in the culture of, vegetarian food and plant-based living, I would just stay on the high road of it, right? Because just even responding to it, people are just going to eviscerate you anyway. Right. And so, you being on this higher level than most people, especially you keeping your business sustained, and having a Black business, like a lot of people don't realize with businesses, many of them fail because of capital, and they fail because of just being able to push forward past the mom and pop level of it, right? So, for her to push past that and be, in big cities like New York and Atlanta and still franchising out, I think it just would have been better for her, just not the same thing. And I get it, you're the head of your company, so you feel like in this culture, say something, but I think I would have just watched it. I would have just gave him the 150 and just kept it moving, because if we're being blessed, we got what we need. Go ahead. I hope it blesses you. And I'm gonna look at it positive way. I hope you got what you want.
And listen, I'm pretty sure she's not sitting there doing the payroll herself. I'm pretty sure that there are people that have that assignment, to do payroll.
Logistically was never her fault, but whoever she hired.
Well, I'm just saying, if there was a wage theft, wouldn't that be a situation where you would have to definitely get with payroll?
Thanks.
And because aren't they responsible for what's being paid out?
And
How
two
it's
is
being paid out?
Yeah, that restaurant too, the tip game. Sometimes they make $2 and they make most of the money in their tips. And sometimes each state they want you to hold a different way. So get all that lined up sometimes. And two is that's why it's a money grab. You should be talking to HR. She the president. She flying around the world on shows. She ain't cutting payroll checks. So that's why
Exactly.
And that's how you get people to pay is you start attacking the president and of the company, right? And they're like, "I'll go ahead and pay her." So that lets you know that was a money grab. You should be talking to HR.
Or was there even anybody that you talked to before you went to this lawsuit? Like, did you even try to handle it? Or like you said, did you just want to go straight up because they know her name is popping right now? They know this is kind of the it place to go to. Yeah. It's just shiesty people everywhere. And to me, that really it sucks for her because
it really
as
does.
She's moving forward, the slander sticking to like, oh, she's just trying to use people. I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't have skin in the game on it. But just being a business owner myself too, like it would be very difficult when you are really trying to move right. You know what I'm saying? You really are trying to move right, and then something this happens.
And listen, what a terrible accusation to make. Wage theft.
Right.
You're accusing me. That's just that's a punch right there. That could possibly take down the business. You see what I'm saying? What a horrible accusation if there's no truth to it. But if there is truth to it, then you need to be better on your game than what you are. And you can't make an excuse. Like what you said, hey, I didn't know this was going on. If it's your business, if it's your business,
I don't know who said it. I don't know if it was you or Ops, but about signing paperwork, definitely. Like,
Ops said that. Ops said that. Yeah.
Because I work for big companies, so when you come in, you got to sign paperwork. And two is, I work on incident responses, so big companies practice stuff like this because they know you're gonna have PR nightmares. It could be from a cybersecurity hack where you lost all the data or fraud. Big companies practice talking in front of the media. You have your PR firm on deck or your communication team on deck. They should have stuff like this already in template form. Once you get this big, people are gonna come for you.
Well, let me ask you this, Professor Ops. Now, listen, do you think this is something that she could have gotten in front of, or was it something that she just put to the side and then it blew up possibly later?
I think you said it beforehand is I don't know. It seemed like they went around HR to personally attack her to get money. I'm just guessing from this because, like you said, this really is an HR an event. So look, even in a mid-sized company, if you got 100 million, you got a whole HR department. You done outsource that to ADP or something. So to me, it sounds like they trying to squeeze her. So that's why they went publicly. So since they trying to squeeze her, I think they went around HR and just kind of put it on out there in the ether in the public to try to get public pressure. Like you said, she's canceling shows. So if you work for 100 million, what's 150,000, man? I would have cut that check yesterday.
Yeah, that's right. You're right.
Right.
You're
right. So it didn't get to this level.
But sometimes I guess it's the principle for some people.
And that's the problem. Principle will get you going broke, man. I had to learn that the hard way.
I agree.
Sometimes you just need to cut the check and make sure you sign that paperwork to make sure
and then also
your tips,
too, guys,
money, and all that. Go ahead.
You gotta think about it too. I think a lot of people get it jaded when they see these numbers like 100 million and your business is worth millions or whatever. That's on paper. It doesn't mean that she has that like money sitting cash. And I don't think people like attribute that to when you have a business. There's different there's money that goes out for different things. And there's money allocated for different places and different things. And so we're saying like 150,000, that's not a lot, just pay it. But that might be a lot in the whole production of how she's taking all her money and throwing it right back into the business. So she might not just have like extra to sit around and do. I'm pretty sure she's got something, but she's probably taking her money and putting it right back in the business, and she probably just doesn't have that to even accolade to anybody like that.
Yeah, but I'm just guessing now too. Is for a restaurant, you would think you had to have a certain amount of working capital because you got to have freezers, food, constantly turning.
Yeah.
So you would think you would have 150 for 3 or 4 restaurants. You need that much probably in food a month, every other week.
That's true.
But once again, I'm guessing because long story short, I used to have a PC company. it said we worth $1 million. We had $1 million worth of equipment and PCs back then because we used to fix them. So we were $1 million poor. It was all in the cage.
Numbers are supplemental, and I'm trying to get people to see that just because you see the word 100 million doesn't mean like she's got racks sitting around though, because expenses that go into the business too. Like she probably got a couple million, but I mean, and also to whoever this Shake Shack, Danny Mayer, he's a huge investor in our company too. So, who's to know how much stake is actually allocated for? So, listen, go ahead.
100 million.
I'm sorry.
Let me go real quick. Go ahead. With restaurants, real estate, if you in those big states, 100 million, hell, half of that could be just in real estate and
that's true.
To drive restaurants.
You're right.
Real estate, for especially commercial, man, especially New York,
Atlanta,
stuff is crazy.
You're right. You're right. You're right. I forgot about that. Go ahead, Vaughn.
Well, no, I wanted to change the subject, but I want us to finish with this first because I don't want to prematurely.
No, we're finished. No, go ahead and change it because I was going to go into the call of action to round us off. But go ahead. Nope, you got the floor, and then we'll go into the call of action.
Yeah, a real quick one, and it was something that I was able to discuss on a panel, I believe yesterday. It was a little vexing. But this whole topic of the young people in Chicago and how they've run amok.
Oh, I was going to bring that up, Vaughn, when I talked about the thing. Yes.
Yeah. No, I don't want to take the programming into something prolonged or anything like that.
That would have to be. That's definitely another stream that I wanted to do because I seen that.
Yeah,
and but did you see, Vaughn? Did you see the white couple that spoke up though? Because the perspective that the media is showing, and we've seen it, they were just being ratchet out there, which kids will do when you let them run wild downtown. Yeah. But what I found odd is they had a couple couples on there. They had a white couple and then another white lady, and the white couple was like, we didn't feel like our life was in danger or anything. We just seen kids out here moving around doing stuff, but we still felt safe. And I thought that was odd because I'm like, I know that's probably not the narrative they're trying to push on media, but and the other white woman was like, yeah, they were doing stuff they weren't supposed to, but I wasn't scared. So I was just like, I wonder what's going on. Why do y'all let these kids
got punched in the face though?
I mean,
I didn't see that part. I didn't see that part.
I believe 2 of the teens got shot, and they were jumping up and down on cars, and they were breaking out windows, and putting people in harm's way. They were looting, and someone told me that I said, well, how did they all get together and come down there at the same time? And so this must have been something that was.
They posted TikTok.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. So they always do stuff like that.
Wow. But it's unfortunate, that our young people are taking this route, and I believe that.
And you know what it is, Vaughn? I believe they did. A lot of times when they do these things, these type of things, it's only but so to be on social media. It's to be getting the clout on the TikTok or on the Instagram or whatever site they're using. Look at us. Look what we're doing. It's like, it's so sad that they think they need attention that way. And just the way that the vulgarness of what they were doing, it's just like, there's no right way to say what they were doing is okay, justifiable, or any of it. It's just, they're just out of pocket.
The mayor justified it. That's all.
Yeah, and the mayor justified.
Oh, really?
And that flustered me. Listen, that flustered me a great deal. Even in having this conversation prior to right now, it's like, well, let's not demonize them. No, that's demonic activity.
Yeah,
preach.
Talking about
preach.
When you're doing all of that unseemly stuff like that, that's not God.
Why did the mayor say? The mayor said don't demonize them. Why? So they said they're taking away from the action that the kids did.
Because they, maybe they needed an outlet, and there's not different programs that are available to them. And
well, the mayor needs to step in and put the programs in because the mayor is in control of that. So then it go back to whoever the mayor is.
No, he gotta get that stuff passed. But I'm with Vaughn. Go ahead, Vaun. You right on the thing I was thinking about, but. Then people start saying, "Well, you a coon," and I'm like, "Oh my God, go ahead."
And so
you don't have to debate that type of stuff. That's just I wouldn't waste my energy debating that.
But listen, you do get a lot of pushback, because I got a little pushback, and to me, all of them should have, if we could have incarcerated all of them for a moment, just to let stop it, because this is outlandish what you're doing.
You
And what is the
demonizing kids,
purpose?
Vaughn. Go ahead. You
And
demonizing the kids, Vaughn.
exactly. But what is the purpose of your gathering? You see, did you get down there together and
No
say, hey,
reason.
we want to be treated fairly? We want the police to treat us better. Did you get down there for that purpose? Did you have a sign? Was it a protest? Or were you just down there to cause mayhem? Come on, man.
No, they do that in a lot of places. They've done
And then
that
for
in
the mayor,
Daytona. They've
well,
done that in
listen,
Miami.
and then for
They've
the
done it a lot
mayor
of
to get up
places.
and double down on it. You know, I was very disappointed with
His
that
constituents
mayor.
wanted him to do that, though, Vaughn. The people that voted for him, they pushing that real hard. So,
Wow.
I'm super perplexed.
No, I didn't know
about
the
that.
ins and outs of that. No, I didn't know the ins and outs. I've seen the video of it, and once again, it turned me off. I was just like, this is once again just out of muck, just stuff going out of muck. But I didn't get into the intricacies of it. So yeah, that would have to be
and you know
another.
It kind of reminded me of that whole Lord of the Flies scenario. You see what I'm saying? Because did
you bring that up before?
Yeah,
I feel like you did that last week. Okay, yeah.
I did. But you're put in this position, you know, to fend for yourself without proper parenting and adult supervision, and now you turn savage. Man, listen, it's crazy. It's crazy. You know, my heart goes out to these young people, but at the same time, you know, this situation needs to be dealt with.
Vaughn, I'm with you 100%. I'm just at a point in my life, especially when the mayor came out and said that, I'm like, dude, I got to step back because I'm about to blow a gasket. I'm like, I might have to step back. I
didn't hear that.
So I'm with Vaughn 100%. I'm just at a point in my life, like you said, what's the solution? How do you push it? Because obviously me and the mayor is not on the same page. So he won. So his constituents, I think, I don't want to call it a no thing, or a kid can do anything what he wants and you can explain it away. So I was really confused about that statement he made. So that kind of really made me pull back and really start kind of thinking, okay, well, what's the end game to this? Okay, like you said, these people aren't parenting. I don't think giving them programs are going to help them.
Wow.
And to me, the thing that's most logical is, okay, we're going to let this slide so it can be more reason for me to come in and be militarizing this area. So
see, and that point right there, that point exactly.
I'm not shocked. I'm not sitting here wondering, why did they do that? No, it's a point to why they're doing these things.
Exactly. But look, you're making it worse. We already have situation with you know, knee on neck situations with the police. You see what I'm saying? And you're giving them more reason to say, hey, we need to keep our knee on their neck.
Vaughn, my only pushback to, a little pushback.
Wait, don't push me back, brother. Push me
just
forward.
a little bit.
But it's okay. Push me forward.
You heard the statement.
I'm gonna push
if you
up
push
to
me
the call
back,
action.
then that takes me back. But push me forward, bro.
But the same thing, I agree with you. But with the mayor's statement, you saw the police standing around and letting stuff burn. They told the police they couldn't chase them.
I've seen the police.
They didn't have enough.
The police was just standing there.
Oh, they had enough to get a few people, man. If you went force, it was like 40 police looking at them. Now you could have caught somebody running, man. One of them dudes was fat like me. You could have got him.
Yeah.
So I think the mayor's not gonna let them do anything.
They're saying they were outnumbered, right? They were outnumbered.
Wow.
You know, how do you run a city? You know, you should never be outnumbered.
Oh yeah, you can, man.
In all fairness, listen, Chicago is huge. I don't know if you guys have been there.
I live in. I'm a Chicagoan, so I know.
Oh, so you know,
I live in California now, but I know exactly where they were cutting up at.
Yeah, but the weird part about that is you're gonna spend $1 billion on overtime, and then pretty soon you're gonna have to get the National Guard. If they're gonna run with 300 people,
that's true.
You're gonna have to have the National Guard to meet them where they're at. But the mayor already told you to stand down.
Wow.
So that's what's got me perplexed, because the mayor, you heard the statement. So to me, he's just letting you know you can do anything you want to do.
And I kept looking in the crowd, when I was looking at the footage, because I just wanted to make sure it wasn't just black folk doing it.
It was a few. I saw maybe a few, but it was, I think, 98%.
Yeah,
You're
the
right.
majority. Yeah, listen, the majority was African American young people. And I tried to pick out a Hispanic here and there,
I
but
thought I
at
saw
the
Come
same
one.
on,
time,
Vaughn.
It could have been a brother with good hair, though. Go ahead,
That was
man.
a
I thought
light skin. That was a light
well,
skin,
see
Vaughn.
that part. But man, it just shows something where we're headed in society.
Oh, it's
And
You
I'm
know
over,
gonna
what I'm
tell you
Vaughn.
saying?
something, Vaughn.
It's over,
It's
Vaughn.
to be honest, and this is on another. I'm gonna cut you off because I know when I say this, Vaughn is gonna pique you, and you're gonna get your preacher out. It's a spiritual battle.
I'm gonna be good today.
It's so spiritual.
No,
It's so
No.
spiritual because it's evil. No.
No.
It's really evil because okay, what do you think it is, Ops?
You're right, but we already lost that war. When you see kids out there kicking cars, them ain't little kids. Those
No,
were
they're
not.
16,
Demons,
17, 18. They're done.
Demons.
You can't baptize
That's
them. It's
true.
too late. It's too late.
No. Okay, you misunderstood. When I talked about, I wasn't spiritualizing it in the sense of like we can make them better demons. I'm saying like that is something in you that you already. It's like ingrained in your natural day-to-day thing. And a lot of it, like we got to be like honest about what these things are. Like this is all they see since they've been growing up, holding these little phones and tablets. They see this in social media. They see this in the movies. They see this in music. They see this everywhere.
Say TikTok. I need you to say TikTok real quick.
Oh, you're not finna. You ain't finna get them following me. I did my enough TikTok. They ain't finna be following me. No, but it's all they've seen for what 10, 15 years. So it's like we're kind of shocked at what we seeing, but the outcome started like a long time ago, and it's because it is what it is. Some parents got to work. They got to do 2-3 jobs or whatever. But when you just put a phone or a device in front of a child for that long and let them fend for whatever, and especially how hard it is it's at the south side of Chicago or west side, whatever that was. It's a lot going on down there, right?
They took it downtown. So that's one thing I think.
And
they ain't gonna let you tear up downtown Chicago too.
Oh no, they're not gonna do that.
Oh, it's so beautiful down there.
Yeah, let me tell you, because
I told you what's gonna happen. They're gonna roll in the military.
And believe me,
they're gonna roll in the military on that.
It's gonna be a little different the next time that you try to approach it that way. So I would say be careful, young people, because
I hope they got sense. I hope they don't do nothing like that.
Oh, they already planning, and the police planning too. So
they
said they're gonna do their next. I forgot what they call it. And the police said they got extra people on duty. They monitoring social media. They're gonna meet them wherever they show up. So it's gonna be interesting.
But listen, that's the thing. I'm wondering why the police went on top of that already, because everything is siphoned through the police department on social media. There's no reason. I believe the police should never know not what's going on, because you can just click on TikTok or somewhere and see what people are doing. So sometimes I think it's a willful ignorance. Some things they probably just don't want to see because they don't want to deal with it. But I think they can find stuff out.
I think too is the police kind of, from a cybersecurity perspective is you got to be careful, because a lot of people got their stuff private and you looking at their stuff, right? So you stepping on privacy. And two is I think they knew it was coming. I just think they didn't know the size of it. I think they thought it was going to be 50 or 60 and 300 people showed up. And that's why they were outnumbered. They rolled out there. You saw them out there, but they were just watching after a while.
I mean, come on. We all know. Well, we may not all know, but I know for one, when summer hits in Chicago, believe me, the winter months, you don't hardly see anybody.
But
by the time it gets summer, listen, you see people that you never thought lived there. And how many people are really out here? You see what I'm saying? Because everybody gets out into the street. Everybody's out and about.
In the summer, yep. Everybody comes out. And you guys know what heat does to people. Y'all know what it does. Okay, so let me round it up, because I already know y'all about to take it to another level. And I'm ready to go eat. Let's do the call to action. Let's go and round it off. So here's what we talked about. We talked about the TikTok ban. We talked about it banning the colleges. And we talked about the women. So any topic, I want you guys to do a call to action for, or just whatever's on your heart. If you want to talk about something particular, I'm gonna give you guys that outlet to go, and then we're gonna round it off for today. So we're gonna do Vaughn first, because I know Vaughn, he got a lot to say. So we're gonna let Vaughn go.
Well, listen, always good to get up here. You're one of the safest places that I feel that I can come to speak and share my opinion without being, getting all this pushback, as they say. I prefer to be pushed forward. But anyway, I appreciate the dialogue. I definitely do. I learned a lot of different things from listening to, Professor Black Ops. You see what I'm saying? And I do want to comment on the Hulu documentary. Yeah, come on, get over it, people. You see what I'm saying? If you are a different person than you were then, I think you should be grateful for that. That's your past history. That's a testimony. Hey, yeah, I used to cut up, but look at me now. You see what I'm saying? That's why I can relate to some of the younger people, is because I've been where they were or where they are, some of them. You see what I'm saying? I have experience. I know what it is to be in the street. I know what it is to cut up. You see what I'm saying? So just because I made it over here and now I'm trying to get into the kingdom and I want to have this form of godliness, you see what I'm saying? But denying the fact that I had to come through some hard times, some shortcomings. You see what I'm saying? That's what got me to where I'm at now. I wouldn't change any of it. You see? So, I would just say get over it. If the documentary comes out, let it come out. I just hope that it's not something that is done for the purpose of, making us look bad, because we already do a good job of that ourselves. So I'll leave that there.
Thank you, Vaughn, for that. So we got Ops in the building. Ops, you responding to any of the different articles, or you just doing your call to action? Was on your heart, Ops?
I'm gonna do a couple, both of those put together. I'm a dovetail on Vaughn, and Vaughn is 100% right. But I think what happened on the Hulu part is people were saying they were holier than thou and they're better than what they are. So Sister Johnson's about to be exposed, because once again, there's facial recognition with those images. So they're going to be able to pick these high profile people. Those 5 ladies who's suing, they're going to be first on the list. It's going to be about 20 YouTube videos coming out, especially about them, I promise you. Then just, but like Vaughn said, I mean, you were old if you were doing what you was doing on up to it. Like you said, you pray on and become a better person. But hey, Sister Johnson's about to be exposed. That's all I got. Then follow the TikTok too. It's a foreign nation. You got 150 million foreign devices tracking your information. So from a Fed perspective, I think that's why it should be banned. But 2, let me roll over and say is, if you're a United States company, I don't think you should ever be banned, right? The only thing that even got me talking about ban is it's a nation states against us. We just talked about young people living on social media that's controlled by a foreign nation. They could be doing mis and disinformation to get these kids to run out here. You don't even know what they're reading on their phones half the time, right? That's what you can do as a foreign nation when you got 150 million devices underneath your control, right? But once again, I am a free speech advocate. So as long as you're in the United States, I would never think about banning you. Once again, TikTok's a foreign adversary. You had the FBI and the CIA directors come out. You saw them bring those guys up on the hill. They wasn't giving really good answers. TikTok really wasn't giving answers. They were giving you these canned answers. And if you go to their country, they have a different TikTok than us. Theirs got education and doctors. And the last thing I'm going to say is, because I want my girl to go eat, she's been working hard today, is when you look on their TikTok, you ask them what they want to be. They said a doctor, lawyer, and scientist. When you ask American kids what they want to be an influencer. So in 20 and 30 generations, if they want to be doctors and lawyers and we still talking about being influenced, China would be running the United States of America. Yeah. And I'm dropping the mic on that. I'm done.
Mic drop.
Not a mic drop. That's excellent. I'm glad that you prefaced all that, you and Vaughn, because like I said, a lot of times we don't know what we don't know, and we need to definitely have these conversations beyond the banter and the arguing and whatever y'all want to do with gender wars and all that. It's cool if you want to talk about that, but we need to be aware of what's going on around us. And I find that a lot of people are just kind of zombies walking and moving through life. And that's what I try to do, especially on these days. Let it, be something we can have a candor with, laugh, talk about, just, controversial or not, learning, influence, finance, whatever. Just something I feel like I would want you guys to have that conversation with. You could take it to your other family members too, and just kind of talk about those things that are going on. And I mean, this TikTok thing, like I said, is just very interesting to me. And I think, and I'm in agreement with you, Ops, it's going to snowball, because the fact that I've seen so many universities lately from me reading these articles, and just when you're looking at it on a national perspective of security. I mean, anybody that just thinks about it, you can understand where the U.S. government is coming from. But I see there's probably a lot of pull with lobbying, all these type of things. So we'll see where that turns to. But I do believe that the governments they're going to shut this down eventually, for most governmental places, let that be schools, universities, and places of where government proceedings are going on. I definitely think so. As far as everything else, I just want you guys to be encouraged, to be enlightened, which means try to learn something or look up something new, or just be a part of a conversation that is unexpected for you, or just something outside of your norm. Because I find a lot of times we stay in these echo chambers, and we stay in these like vacuums and these caping of ideals that we really don't grow and we don't get enlightened because of the fact that we stay with these same social tropes. So I encourage you guys to do that. Once again, you guys already know what it is. It's a Finesse family here. I'm Mrs. B Finesse. If you're new, make sure you hit the like button on the replay. Share it. Sharing is caring. Y'all on social media, so y'all been here with me this long. Share it. Also, guys, too, let me give a shout out to the channel members that came. Shout out to BGH Gail. She stole my thunder. Thank you guys for coming through, and also thank you guys for the super chats. BGH, thank you for that, and Big Ben, I appreciate you guys' support. And as always, as long as you guys show up, I will be here. We're definitely going to be Fridays. We'll say Fridays at 4. And come on through. We'll have Freestyle Finesse Friday. It'll be open topic, or maybe specific things I bring up, or whatever you guys have that's interesting we can talk about. We will do that, guys. So once again, it was a blast. I'm glad to be here with you guys, and hopefully you guys have a great weekend, and you're relaxed and you're blessed, and you try to go help somebody today. Go do something for somebody else. And I'll see you guys later. Adios.